a resilient community together, because readiness starts with you.
Here's to celebrating everyone's favorite time of year in Wisconsin with all our arty, fun-loving, foodie, feasting fall events. There's Kohler Food and Wine, Aaron's Art on Wheels at Road America, Red Cliff Cultural Days, Holy Hill Art and Craft Fair, and the fests. Wausau's Ginseng Fest, Warren's Cranberry Fest, Bayfield Apple Fest, Milwaukee Film Fest. Whew. There's a whole lot of fall fun to be had in Wisconsin. Find more events at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Former NBA star and Team USA basketball managing director Grant Hill enjoyed a great, if not slightly stressful, summer in Paris at the Olympics.
It was gold or bust, and you really felt that. You felt that pressure, particularly in the medal rounds, and it was unlike any pressure I've ever experienced.
Grant Hill speaking recently at Bloomberg Power Players New York. All that pressure did pay off with a gold medal win for the USA. Hill's a big investor in basketball. He's a co-owner of the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA, an investor in NBA Africa, and more. He says the big summer win is good for the sport's growth around the world.
The business of basketball is in a great place, and I believe that our Olympic experience, our success, will play and continue to play a big role in that.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Pros, now's your chance to save big during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Right now, save big on appliances like the GE Stainless Steel Kitchen Suite. Plus, save $40 on 5-gallon pails of Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense, and Valspar Stain. Shop Pro Savings Days today for big savings on everything you need to get the job done right. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 9/27 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the hosts and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears, breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You are not put here to be a white man's footstool. You are put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Reverend, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
From Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, though, man. But I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017thetruth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning and welcome to the program. Today is Thursday, September 19th, 2024. I think we're going to start today's show off right. We're going to start off by having a conversation with the Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley. Mr. County Executive, how are you this morning?
You know, I'm doing good. Every day is a good day. How are you, Sherwin? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing good. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Let's start here. So yesterday I had the privilege of attending the Sickle Cell Summit. This is where healthcare providers and service providers and patients with sickle cell disease and members of their family all came together to talk, to collaborate, to share resources, and to share stories. And one of the most important things that I learned about those that suffer with a horrible affliction that is sickle cell disease is that prior to the Affordable Care Act, it was not covered. It is a disease that just debilitates the entire body, and the medications are necessary, and they're very, very expensive. There's a lot of trip to the doctors. But if there was no Affordable Care Act, a lot of those individuals would simply have to suffer because they would not have the money to take care of their medical treatment. When we talk about the Kamala Harris-Tim Walz administration and protecting health care versus their Republican rivals that want to take away health care, can we just make this abundantly clear for those that are listening that this is a signature campaign issue that benefits the Democrats?
You know what? You're absolutely right. Absolutely, this is a signature issue. I mean, we're first and foremost talking about an issue that, you know, former President Barack Obama, you know, ran on an issue that really helps get black folks here in America access to quality and affordable health care. And you talk about sickle cell, that can affect our community more than anyone. And at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we continue to talk about health care, right? I think this administration has been able to talk about what they have done, particularly like for seniors and capping insulin at $35 and quite frankly, making sure that those who are in need of particular prescription drugs, that they get them for free. But I also think that it's important for folks to understand that there's so much that this administration and what, you know, our Madam Vice President and Tim Walz wants to continue to do when they're in office. And one of them is really bringing to the light of what they have done around those who have been impacted by asthma. And you think about inhalers, how they can be, you know, $200 to $300 in some cases. It can really be unaffordable, and how they've been able to cap and lower those types of prescription drug costs for many folks right here in Milwaukee and across this country. So we have to make sure that we're not only just paying attention to the issue of women's reproductive rights and the freedoms that they deserve to have and how that was ripped away from them, but also understanding that there are other provisions that directly impact our entire community when it comes down to health care.
A lot of folks are still asking this question. I think if you're asking this question this late in the game, we are 47 days away from the election, then people don't care, or maybe they're not paying attention on purpose. They'll ask, well, what has she done? What are her policies? And so anyone who is still asking that question, there's this thing called the internet and Google, which will answer all of those questions. But something that probably escapes most people's understanding of presidential politics is how having a Democrat in the White House, especially Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, how that can matriculate down and help folks right here in Milwaukee County. There can be resources made available. There can be grants given to Milwaukee County for special things that we may need to take care of our citizens here. Can you speak to that for a second? How, if you have a cooperative administration in the White House, it can actually help improve the lives and bring resources right home to Milwaukee County?
Thank you for bringing that up, because that's extremely important. I mean, here in Milwaukee County, we've been able to make generational investments, whether we're talking about not just healthcare, but mental health with the Mental Health Emergency Center, building the new COGS building dedicated towards health and human services for this community that we serve right here within the city of Milwaukee and some of our underserved zip codes. But even when you talk about affordable housing, we're building, 100 affordable housing units, single-family units in the King Park neighborhood. We are building affordable housing in suburban communities, quite frankly, where, 5+ years ago, they were saying, not in my backyard. And so when I think about when I first got elected in 2020 under the leadership of President Trump in the midst of this pandemic, it was quite frankly difficult to actually have a great partnership, having a real dialogue on how to combat this pandemic that we're in, but also the level of resources that we needed as it relates to local units of government. And so when the Biden-Harris administration came in, for the first time ever, we've seen direct investments coming into cities, coming into counties, not just here in the state of Wisconsin, but across this entire country. And what's very unique about that is that when you think about a place like Milwaukee, where we got a great friend in the governor, you still have to go through the process related to the state legislature. And so I know that we can't necessarily always rely on them on giving us the resources that we need. So having that direct connection to the federal government has been extremely beneficial for us, not just throughout the pandemic, but even as we've been able to make, again, generational investments right here in Milwaukee County.
We are speaking with Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley. Kamala Harris has said on a number of occasions, and this is another one of her campaign platform items or agenda items or a policy item for those that think she has none, she wants to see 3 million more houses built in the United States to increase the supply of available housing, which will in turn bring down the overall cost of housing, because when you have a higher supply, costs will go down. While the federal government cannot be directly involved in building the houses and constructing the houses, they have said that for cities that are working with developers, the federal government under Kamala Harris's leadership will have more resources for infrastructure, for utilities, for schools, and other types of neighborhood investments. So for those that may not know, Mr. County Executive, when it comes to Milwaukee County, are we in a crisis when it comes to affordable housing? Like, where would we stack up as far as how many new housing units we will need in Milwaukee County to keep up with the demand?
Listen, we need thousands of more units. And let me be very clear. We need these thousands of more units, not just here in the city of Milwaukee, but we need them in the suburban communities. But even if we step outside our geographical comfort zone, right, stepping outside of southeastern Wisconsin, many people forget that suburban communities as well as rural communities are struggling when it comes down to hiring people to work in those communities, because folks who may work there can't actually afford it. And so, and then on top of that, right, if you don't have the density, if you don't have the population of people that help to grow your tax base, things quite frankly get more expensive as life goes on for those communities. So we have to continue to focus on affordable housing. And we know that, the Harris-Walz ticket is going to do right just by what they have been saying. And if we just take into account history, right, we've seen incredible investments already under the Biden-Harris administration. And we also know that, the former President Trump, he denied black folks from being able to move into some of his apartments. And so we need to really focus on the tangibles here and understanding that we have a choice, a binary choice of someone who's going to focus on building affordable housing, giving more access to transportation and job opportunities, because, housing is health as well. And quite frankly, when you talk about, if you want to talk about health as well and can make this connection, particularly with Donald Trump, who's talked about not only repealing the Affordable Care Act, but doesn't have a plan, only has concepts. I mean, you've been running for office, for 8 to 12 years and still doesn't have a plan that's going to have a direct impact on some of our most vulnerable communities. And that's one of the reasons why I'm out here stomping extremely hard for our Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. I have been evicted 3 times within a 2-year span. We moved every year of my life for at least 15 years. And so to have that level of stability as a young person, no matter where you are in this community, is extremely important, not just for them, but also for their families and the level of stress that we can relieve them by bringing these affordable housing projects to fruition. And so, if you want to see this community grow, if you want to see folks having, clear and affordable access to housing, there's only one choice in this election.
Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, always appreciate talking to you. And today is a great day to be talking to you because this is the day, September 19th, that election clerks all over the state will be mailing out mail-in ballots. So those go out today. So everybody who's on that list, make sure you check your mailbox because literally the election starts today. Mr. County Executive, always a pleasure. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
All right, David Crowley. calling us, letting us know to vote for the Kamala Harris and the Tim Walz. I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I wasn't here yesterday. I had to moderate. It's actually my pleasure to do so, to moderate a discussion on those who are living with sickle cell. So I took yesterday off to do that because that event took place during my show. But this is the first time that I've been back on the air since we had our Truth on Politics show. I'm going to give you my thoughts on how that went. Tori was there. I know you heard him. Dr. Ken was there. And Denise was there as well. And Denise, she must have liked what I said during our Truth on Politics. I called a conversation. You all on social media call it a debate because I never really want to debate my colleagues. But, it was a debate. But Denise Thomas must have liked what I said because now she thinks we're getting married. So we'll talk about what happened on the Truth on Politics. And thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't seen it, it is on YouTube. If you go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, hit subscribe. You'll see all of our shows, including the Truth on Politics episode that aired a couple days ago. Right now, I'm going to take a little pause for the cause. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What's good, y'all? This is 1017 The Truth's Telly Hughes, and I am Milwaukee. The goal of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is to provide a platform for citizens of Milwaukee and Truth Nation to have their voices heard about concerns that have daily, direct impact. So join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
So you may have heard of Project 2025, a plan crafted by Trump and his MAGA loyalists to give Trump virtually unchecked political power and take Black America backwards. Here's how. Project 2025 strips away our voting rights protections, and it eliminates the Department of Education. It would siphon public school funding to private schools, leaving our kids behind. Planning on going to college? Good luck paying for it. Project 2025 cuts funding for federal student loans. Trump's Project 2025 would also make states monitor women's pregnancies, and it bans abortion. Project 2025 would also gut Obamacare, ripping away health care from millions. Simply put, Trump's Project 2025 would be devastating to Black America. But we can stop it by voting for Kamala Harris for president, because we are not going back.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for president.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Literally one call, that's all.
I made one call and that's all, worry-free.
One call, that's all. It worked.
Just one call and that's all.
They will do what they say they're gonna do. One call and that's all.
One call, that's all means security.
It's literally one call, that's all.
It's a phrase we'll never forget.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
When I think about it, if I'm not here, like if I'm not here at all, if there is no more The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 FM, but all the other shows remain. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. What's Ben and Carrie show called? The Ben and Carrie, the Noni Juicers, the Juicers.
Jamming with the Juice.
Yep, them. And then the Tory Lowe show. And then Truth in the Afternoon with the old geezer. So if I wasn't here, this would be a Trump radio station. I think it would be considered Republican leaning.
Elaborate.
Because DT and Telly, they stay like kind of on the facts. They don't really delve. Like DT might ask questions every now and again, probing one candidate or another. Speaking of probing, I think she's in love with Eric Trump. I'm serious. I think she
likes his eyes.
She like more than that. So DT and Telly.
Until you prove that is hearsay.
Nah, it ain't hearsay. I witnessed it. But she said a bunch of times how he's got the bluest eyes ever. That's how they get you. That's how they reel you in. The blue-eyed devils. So she is, now I don't know if that's going to guide her political decision. But, she's show. And then Eric Trump, so he was at the RNC, sat down with him at the RNC, so did a live interview with him on camera, right? And then dude called in like another couple of weeks ago. Now, I don't know what Democratic surrogates DT and Telly have talked to. I don't know if they've talked to Kamala Harris. I don't know if they've talked to, Gwen Moore or anybody, Tammy Baldwin. But if you don't do a lot of political interviews, this is no shade against my colleagues. I'm just going to illustrate a point here. So if I'm not here, because y'all know where I'm at politically, it's like I got to fight harder every single day to convince black people that there's only one party or candidate that will even speak to our interests. The other party wants to take our interests away. And it's getting harder and harder as we get closer to the election. You got not just a political party, but it's like a political ethos that is telling black people that migrants are a problem. But not even migrants in Milwaukee. Like, no, black people in Milwaukee. Those migrants in Chicago that's a problem you need to be concerned about. When you have something so powerful that you can tell black people that are still in 2024 as a culture, as an ethnicity, as a race, that are still very much in need when it comes to every measurable indicator and every measurable category, right? And you still have control over that group to tell them to hate other people, that these other people are your problem. The ones that are telling black people that they need to hate migrants, they're who the problem are. You understand it? The migrants are not our problem. The people telling us that we need to hate them or send them back or be okay with deportation. Do y'all know what mass deportation looks like? I don't think you know. I think some of y'all think it's sweet. And for some reason, in our Truth on Politics broadcast we did a couple of days ago, like the issue of the migrants came up more than anything local. It was insane to me. I tell you this much, Dr. Ken, I'm not doing another one if Dr. Ken is moderating because I'm moderating the next one, period. So I probably should have asked permission before I said that, but I'm just making that abundantly clear. I will be moderating. If they want me in another one, I'm moderating it because that just didn't work out. I love me some Dr. Ken now, but whenever you best him on an argument, he overtalks you. He tries to redirect you. He tries to trip you up. So we ain't doing that no more. But I think I know what his political affiliation is. I also noticed that he challenges me, but he'll never challenge Tory. Let's talk to Joe's online. Let's talk to Joe. Hello, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great, Joe. What's on your mind?
I just had, I don't know, it's just mind-boggling that in Barack Obama's first term, it was just an abundance of people that you could talk to, and you'll ask why you voted for him, and they'll give you the simplest answer of because he's black. They knew nothing about him. They knew nothing of his policies. They knew nothing of his political background, but that was good enough because he was black. And that's a great thing when we support each other and we look for hope and motivation through seeing our peers elevate and become in circumstances and situations that we never foreseen. So now, 2024, we got the same chance to do the same thing, to put not another black man, but the first black woman into office to inspire and motivate and to just incite just moving up and moving forward in our people. And we critiquing and we're, what are you going to do specifically for black people? All the questions that we're drilling her with, nobody bothers to ask Donald Trump. And if they do ask Donald Trump and he gives some asinine answer, then it's okay. We don't make him dig deeper. We don't make him explain. He could tell us that, oh, I have a concept for you. And that's good enough for us. And I just don't understand that. When Barack Obama won his first term, I'll admit I was in a nightclub. And when they announced that he won, the nightclub erupted.
I know it did.
That night
I could
was
only
the most
imagine.
peaceful. That night, and you know what song they was playing? Jeezy, My President is Black.
Woo!
And the nightclub erupted. There was no fights that night. There was no shootings that night. Everybody left with just this aura over them, knowing that black people are advancing. And my daughter is only 6 years old, and her grandfather follows the election very closely and the candidates, and he talks about it a lot. And she knows who Vice President Kamala is. And she's been talking about, Dad, I want to become president. So she's not even president yet, but she's inspiring the future, inspiring the next generation. And if that's all she does when she gets in the White House, that's good enough for me. Because it takes away from the struggle of me being a parent to challenge the evilness and detriment that social media is driving her with every day, trying to negatively affect her in every way to hinder her from reaching her potential and purpose. So if this woman can go on TV and inspire my child to do better and be better, I'm all for it. I don't need to, what are you specifically going to do for me? And when I look at voting as a way of, people always say, it's your choice. Vote how you want to vote. No, you have the choice to vote to make a better life for the American people. When you cast your ballot, it's not specifically for you. It's for the person that's under your tax bracket. It's for the person that's above your tax bracket. It's for the person that you go to church with. It's for the person that you go to school with. It's for the person that you're sitting at the traffic light next to. It's to better their lives in a way that we continue to be the land of the free. So we got to stop being all selfish with this choice and acting like when we cast our ballot, it's directly to affect our lives. No. And it might even not affect, it might just affect the generations to come. Being so selfish. We have to be selfless with our sacrifices, because the sacrifices might not directly affect us, but in 2028 or 2030, when our children are growing up, it's going to affect them. So we have to think about the future, and we have to selflessly remove ourselves and the way we feel right now, and cast a vote that's of some substance. This man has no substance. And anybody you ask, why are you voting for him, all they can tell you is why not they're voting for the other person. They can't tell you nothing good about this man. They can't tell you nothing of what this man is going to do for us.
I've stopped entertaining
the only thing
those
that they
people.
can tell you.
Yeah, they're not even worth listening to, because quite honestly, they don't even know why they're voting for Donald Trump. And I agree with you. They're much more strong on why they won't vote for Kamala Harris. But, brother, I appreciate your call, Joe. And I'm glad you said all that you said, because don't be mad if I use some of this telephone call we just had in one of my promos, because you nailed it probably better than I can. You feel free to call us or call any of our shows here on 101.7 The Truth with that same energy. I appreciate your call, Joe.
I appreciate you taking it. Thank you.
All right. Y'all heard him. Joe was on fire. I have my assumptions, and I suppose what I've observed from people that are supporting Trump. But, he's right. When Barack Obama ran, because he was black, that was good enough for a lot of us. But black folks need to stop acting like we have risen above that. The reason why some of y'all support black businesses is not even because the business is good. It's because they're black. White folks do it too. Why do you think they select the neighborhoods that they select to live in? Because the neighborhood is white. They don't ask what the neighborhood is going to do for them. They don't ask a whole bunch of probing questions. They don't ask who's German, who's Irish, who's English. It's a white neighborhood, and they're going to feel comfortable in it. Y'all know that America's a racist place, right? I think most people, well, I don't know. Some black people would agree with that. And just having the experience of being considered or assumed black, people are going to treat you different. They are. Some people are going to treat you like you're handicapped. Some people are going to treat you like you're a thug. Some people are going to treat you like, you know, you're less than intelligent. So there's experiences that come with being black in America. Kamala Harris can take those experiences because she's had those experiences too. She's been discriminated against, and she then can legislate with that perspective. So that's yet another reason. I'm going to take a break, come back, talk to Tyree on the other side. But another reason why I think African Americans are supporting Trump, because it's not about policies and what he's going to do. In fact, I've got something that I want to share with you guys about what Donald Trump is planning to do if he wins on November 5th. So it doesn't have anything to do with policy. So there's some black people that all they know is victimhood. All they know is being hurt, being harmed, being discriminated against. All they know is just the sad and pessimistic part of life. And because that's all they know, that's where they're comfortable. They don't know anything else. In fact, they don't even dream anymore. They're just always sad. They're always mad at the world, and the world is racist. That is the world that they know. I want you to just imagine these people for a second, because we all know these people. They're mad at everything. They're angry at everything. They hate white people. They hate the migrants. They hate themselves, right? But that's all they know is this negativity and this pessimism. Donald Trump recreates that world for them. Donald Trump is going to favor the police. Donald Trump is going to take resources from the black community. Donald Trump is going to do more harm when it comes to health care. Donald Trump might even raise the price of insulin again if pharmaceutical companies contribute to the Republican Party. So the black folks that support him, they're comfortable in a world of pessimism. They're comfortable in a world where everything and everybody is racist. They're comfortable in a world where black people get less resources. Donald Trump is their comfort because he provides a world and a paradigm that is comforting to them, because that's all that they know. All they know is racist white men. So they might as well vote for one because they can proceed in a world that they are used to and that they are familiar with. I, on the other hand, see a better world. And Donald Trump is not in it. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place? You know, that spot that only you know about? And instead of what you came for, you found something a little different. What if instead of your private stash, you found a simple phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Would you make the call? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, before drugs turn your life upside down, before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use or prescription drug misuse, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/thereishelp.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
Breaking news, Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office is investigating the death of 43-year-old Devontae L. Mitchell outside of the Hyatt Regency on Sunday as a homicide. Breaking news, a Milwaukee mother is speaking out after her 17-year-old daughter, Amira Wallace, was shot and killed at Milwaukee's Deneen Park. This happened just after midnight on July 22nd. Breaking news. According to a sheriff's office report, Sean Grayson said he shot Sonia Massey after fearing she would throw boiling water at him, which would have caused great bodily harm or death. Breaking news. Body cam video shows fatal police shooting of 4-year-old Illinois boy and man holding him hostage. Police responding to a domestic violence call shot a 4-year-old named Terrell Marshawn Miller and his mother's boyfriend. Now that I have your attention, these are families that are more than just a news story. These are families who are hurting. These are families that are searching for justice. As a community, it's our duty to get involved and make sure we do our part to make sure that these families receive the justice that they're searching for. Today, it's their families in the news. Tomorrow is yours. This is why it's important for us to make sure that we stay on the front lines and make sure that we do our part to help change what's going on in our neighborhood. Whether it's police brutality, whether it's senseless violence, whether it's human trafficking, we all can do our part and help each and every family that's affected negatively in our communities get justice.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
They call it negative attention. Children sometimes act out and do really, really bad stuff, right? They get in trouble because that's the only time they ever get attention. Like when they do good stuff, it's not recognized at the same level of attention as when they do bad stuff. It's twisted, right? But there's a lot of us in our community that are the same way. The negative attention is more. It's more robust. It's more consistent. A black person that says, hey, I'm voting for Kamala Harris gets a smile, a nod, and maybe a high five, right? A black person that says they're voting for Trump starts an argument with every person they tell damn near. You see how they relish that attention, even though the attention is negative. And that starts in people's childhoods. When they do something bad, then everybody's talking about them. Everybody's talking to them. Everybody's trying to tell them they need to do this, they need to do that. People are paying attention to them when they do negative stuff. And that like forms a child's brain. And so when you become an adult, because we all know these people, they relish negative attention. They're always the outlier. They're always the one that's going against the grain, even if going against the grain means going against your own people because you get attention. Let's talk to Tyree. You're on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for holding, Tyree. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Sherwin. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. What's on your mind?
Man, I just wanted to kind of elaborate and go off more of what Joe was saying about, Trump not being held accountable for his words and his actions. I believe in that. And I think a lot of the time we see the loud minority of MAGA supporters and we equate that to them supporting, in a big group of people. What I truly believe is they are the loud minority of people. Kamala will win in November, so I'm just going to call it that right now because of those people that are listening right now who aren't, as vocal as that loud minority is. They're listening, they're kind of taking everything in, and this is why I appreciate you and your takes on the show. And you should definitely be the moderator of that next debate. I'm going to call it, if I get any pull whatsoever, man, I really, truly believe you should be because it does take your voice of some reasoning behind why we need to hold Trump accountable. So, I wanted to just say, man, I appreciate you for all that you do. Keep doing what you're doing, Sherwin, for real. And, again, they are the loud minority.
Thank you, Tyree. Appreciate your call. Yeah, I'm going to moderate the next one because Tyree said so. I have to. I think it's because we're, as black people, I think we have a veneer. And we're all different. Let me say this. I'm not generalizing all the blacks because y'all get mad when I do that. We appear strong, tough, independent. We always refer to our history. Sometimes we even go back to Africa. We were kings and queens. We've even adopted that philosophy now, calling each other, hey, king, hey, queen. I don't do that. Some of y'all are not royalty. You're not going to just call you a queen, right? So we have this strength and this power and this independence, right? We can persevere in a country that has not been very nice to us, but at the same time, those people who pride themselves on their blackness, on their strength, on our history of being kings and queens, hey, king, hey, queen, will have their hand out and will beg for reparations. Will you please help us? Please give us some slavery money. But wait a minute ago, you was kings and queens. Kings and queens don't beg. Kings and queens already have it. They're royalty, right? So we can't have it both ways. Let me give you another illustration of how they think about us. The same people that would have to realize that black people have been harmed. And the only way that you can illustrate to this country that we have been harmed is if you teach history and the kind of harm that has been done to us. There's been political harm, there's been physical harm, there's been legal harm, there's been illegal harm, there's been vigilante harm, there's been educational harm, there's been medical harm. I can go on and on and on. But if you remove that from the scrolls and scribes of history, if they don't know how we have been harmed, they're never going to give us anything for the harm. So when they say they're removing black history from schools, and they're basically saying there's a key that fits a lock. And when that lock is open, black people will get completely repaired. You'll get your land, you'll get your 40 acres and a mule, you'll get money, you'll get the values of your homes are restored because, in black neighborhoods, black property is devalued simply because black people live there. They'll invest more in education, in our schools, all of the things, right? But the key is you have to inform the American people so they have a light bulb go on and say, oh my gosh, we really screwed over black people for the last couple hundred centuries. We owe them like we owed the Japanese, like we owed other people, like we owed the Native Americans. But if they remove the history, they are taking away the key that opens the lock. Do you understand that? So a couple of things are going on here. We can't promote this air of strength as black people when we're descended from royalty and we're kings and we're queens and we're independent and we don't need the government to help us because we're strong black people and we're very, very unique in that regard. But then we also can't ask for reparations. If they still can impact how black people feel about other black people, if they can make up a lie about Haitian immigrants who are legal and black people believe it, if they can tell a black person that a person from south of the border or South America or Central America or Mexico is coming here to take your job, why in the hell would they pay you? They can tell you how to think. The enemy is them. The enemy is white supremacy and how they use white supremacy. And so they're using white supremacy to tell black people who we should hate. And if they have that much control over us, why in the hell would they pay us? I wouldn't pay us if I was them. I can look at gender as another example. If men can tell women how to think, if there can be animosity that exists amongst women, married women versus single women, young women versus old women, women with kids versus women who don't have kids, pretty women versus not pretty women, because pretty privilege is a real thing, then I'm never going to pay women what they're worth. Not only that, if I can divide women with patriarchy and misogyny, I can then take away women's rights if I want to because I have the keys to divide them. You see how that makes sense? If the patriarchy and misogyny, which I thoroughly believe are alive and well, can keep women divided amongst one another. Imagine the Republican woman who is going to vote for Donald Trump, who has voted for Republicans, even in a post-Roe world, that can look a woman in the face who has been raped and has to carry that child to term in certain states. Imagine that. The power of that, because a man created the legislation that have turned these two women fundamentally against one another. I was trying to think of a parallel. I got up early this morning. And I was like, I need an analogy. I need a parallel so men can understand this abortion issue because we're so dumb. Men that are misogynistic and patriarchal, and to some extent we all are, just like all white people are racist to some extent. It provides us cover for just being super ignorant. So I was trying to think of an analogy. Like, how can you force a woman to have a baby with a man she doesn't want to have a baby with? Right? It could be non-consensual. It could be she just doesn't want to have his baby because, fellas, a lot of us should not reproduce. Sorry, everybody can't. Listen now, don't get mad, please. Or get mad, I don't care. A lot of us should not make other us's. You know what I mean? You've met people in your life, once you get to like 40, you've met people like, oh my God, why did you have kids? You know what I mean? Like, no offense, you don't say it to them. You just don't hang out with them anymore. So I was trying to think of an analogy of how a woman can be victimized and then be forced to carry a child to term. Right? A woman can just rape a woman and she gets pregnant in certain states. She's got to have a baby. She don't want that. It's not fair. She don't want that baby. That's like if a man meets a woman. They just meet. Maybe they go on a date. Maybe they don't. And she has children. This analogy might be weird. Let's see how it goes. I know how I understand it in my head. Let's see if it comes out of my mouth and through this microphone and into your ear holes the way I understand it in my head. Probably not, but let's give it a shot. A man and a woman meet. She has children by somebody else. Okay? Not an unlikely story. They meet at the shopping mall. They meet on the Tinder. They meet on the whatever dating apps you people are on, the Match.coms, the eHarmonies, the Christian Mingles, farmersdaughter.net, whatever. I don't care, wherever they meet. And they meet and they talk on the internet. And this woman has children already. She's a single mom. And the woman says, hey, guy that I just met, I'm going to make you pay child support. And he'll say, well, I don't know. Those aren't my kids. I don't even want those kids. Too bad. Not only are you going to pay child support, you're going to have to pay child support by law because I said so. I am now making you a victim. You are now, and there's nothing you can do about it. And what if a whole bunch of women legislators gave women the power to just make men who are the non-custodial, non-biological fathers of their children just make child support? And if they make them pay child support, and if they don't pay child support, it's illegal. A man can rape a woman, get her pregnant, and make her, because of state laws, carry that baby. If a man can make a woman carry a baby, then women should be able to make us pay child support for kids that we don't want. She can just say, no, I want you. You're going to take care of my kids. And you can say, well, no. And she'll say, the law backs me up. I, as a woman who have these children by some other men, no, I like you. I want you. You're going to pay me child support. We went on one date. You owe me child support this month. And if you don't pay it, you're a felon. You're going to go to jail. Isn't that insane? So is how we treat women that get pregnant with pregnancy that they don't want. So I say, let's make it fair. If we're going to overturn Roe, which we did, then ladies, go and meet a man, and then we'll have laws. And ladies, you get together and pass these laws. Maybe Kamala Harris will sign the bill, where women can just make a man pay them child support, even if the man doesn't want to, right? Just like if the woman doesn't want to have the baby, she has to. Well, the man may not want to pay child support for children that aren't his. Guess what? The law is going to dictate it. Men would have a fit if women came up with that law, and the women would be like, but we need someone to help us take care of our children. Why not the man that we select? And we need the law to back us up on that. It's nuts to think about. You know how mad I would be if I met a woman here at the 3rd Street Market Hall, just being nice to her. I don't know. I'd give her a little telephone number. Hi, lady, here's my phone number. I'm Sherwin Hughes. You may already know me because I'm famous. And then I get a letter in the mail saying I'm in arrears because I owe her child support because she has selected me to be the one to take care of her kids because, well, you know, she needs it. Isn't that crazy? That's how we need to look at this abortion issue. I'm going to take a break, come back. Have we come to the conclusion I'm going to moderate the next Truth on Politics? Yeah, I think so. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 on your FM dial. We'll be right back.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
And we see the mayhem and we see the after effects, and it leaves a lot of people scratching their heads. And when you see a 14-year-old, involved in this, how did he get the weapon?
And this is my favorite show on the station. I love you guys so much. Every day I listen to you guys. I swear to God. I mean, I listen to all the shows when I'm at work, but this show right here, these wonderful, that's what's up.
Catch the Tori Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know, what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know Denise out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year in 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
At Community Life Skills Center and Counseling Services, they believe everyone deserves access to support, regardless of insurance status. Whether you're seeking guidance in spiritual matters, battling substance abuse, or overcoming trauma, they offer a safe space to heal. From family counseling to navigating grief, domestic violence to fostering healthy relationships, their diverse services cater to your needs. But they're more than just counselors. They're educators too. So reach out to them at 414-226-5604. Your breakthrough is just around the corner.
Craving something mouthwatering? Head to Munchies, Milwaukee's finest quick-service eatery. You'll love their gourmet egg rolls, wings, loaded fries, and fried fish. And don't miss their signature pasta dishes and soul food options. Plus, ask about their upcoming pound cake line. They're open Wednesday to Saturday, 12 to 6 p.m. Visit Munchies on site. Call in your order or get delivery. Follow Munchies on Facebook and Instagram at Munchies Detroit Style. Check out their website at munchiesdetroitstyle.com. Munchies, where your cravings meet satisfaction.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within.
Come on now.
I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go.
Jam! What? My friends wonder what is wrong with me. 'Cause I'm in the days from your love. You see, bring it back up, Ricky. Bring it back up.
I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go.
All right, that's enough. I want me singing the bridge. All right, now. Imagine if women just said, yeah, we just want to be able to victimize any man that we want to and then make them financially responsible for our children, our rents, our mortgages, and our lifestyle. We're going to take choice away from men. We're going to take away their choice. You're going to have to pay my rent, sir. But I don't want to pay your rent, ma'am. I don't really know you like that. So what? Too bad. You don't have a choice. I'm going to take away your choice to spend your money how you want to. You're going to spend your money on me, and if you don't, you're a felon. You're going to go to jail. I want y'all to look at it like that, because men I think sometimes, I'm not saying that women don't do this, but we see our money as sacred as our bodies. Because a man can be fat, a man can be old, a man can be ugly, a man can be generally unattractive, he can be a jerk, but if he has money, all things are even. Because some men who are those negative things I just mentioned that are broke are lonely and die by themselves. But a man that has all of those negative, ugly aspects to himself with money will have women all around him. So money is very important to us because it can make up for our shortcomings. It's why men need to work so hard, because if you're a man in this world and you don't have money, you're not good. You're not good for anybody, not good for yourself. So no woman wants a broke man. They'll date a broke man if they see that he has potential. But if you're just broke with no potential and you're a jerk and you're mean and you're disrespectful and you're selfish, oh, you're finished. And there's actually a lot of men out here like that. We call them incels, involuntarily celibate, meaning no woman wants to sleep with them. They're actually a terrorist organization, but we don't see them as such. You know, a lot of times these mass shooters and school shooters, they'll leave behind not necessarily manifestos, but like these breadcrumbs of why they're so angry and why they shot people. Like there's a whole bunch of mass shootings where these high school boys just come and they shoot the cheerleaders, or they shoot the popular kids. They shoot the popular boys. They shoot the popular, very attractive girls that they go to school with because nobody wants them. So a man without money, he can't brag about anything. So our money to us is very sacred because we know that it can make up, well, at least temporarily, it can make up for our shortcomings. If you have a man he's short, unattractive, overweight, bad haircut, poor dresser, dirty fingernails, right? A slob when he eats, all of those things, okay? Imagine this fella. And some of you married that fella. But imagine him. Broke with no money, no job, no ambition, no hope, no future, no education, okay? But then imagine that same man with all those other negative qualities with money. A woman will say, well, we can get him some new clothes. I guess I can tolerate his attitude a little bit. And I can work with him and we'll get him a manicure. We'll get his fingernails all cleaned up. She'll work with the man that has money that has all of those negative things. So money to us is incredibly important. Men brag about it. And I'll often say that when men brag about money, they either don't really have any or they're not used to having money. Because a full piggy bank, when you shake it, don't make no noise. It's the piggy bank that only got 3 nickels in it. When you rattle that, oh, it screams loud. It's ching, 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 ching. But ain't no money in it. It's only 3 nickels in there bouncing around. Full piggy bank don't make no noise. We look at our money as men in a similar analogy, the way women look at their bodies. It's sacred. It's ours. We can do with it what we want, and no one should be able to mandate or dictate what we do with something that is ours. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
For love of the game.
There's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
And love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Buck stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
It's Dr. Ken Harris, and you can watch me now live on YouTube every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m., and you can watch the best radio show in Wisconsin by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Watch me explore the issues which are shaping our community while also having fun discussions, pop culture, current events, all kind of stuff going on right here on YouTube right now by subscribing to 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You Never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Attention Milwaukee County residents. Are you prepared for the unexpected? From sudden storms to unforeseen emergencies, readiness is key. Take charge of your safety with a family emergency plan and an essential emergency kit. Stay informed and connected during emergencies. For tips and resources, visit us online or contact the Milwaukee County Office of Emergency Management. Prepare now, stay safe, and build a resilient community together, because readiness starts with you.
People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? Wish Caregiver Careers can get you started as a certified direct care professional. You'll learn the skills you need to make life better for older adults or people with a disability. All training is free and online. Plus, earn $500 in bonuses. Start your new career. Sign up today at wiscaregivercdcp.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Well, hello there. Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'm going to read some text messages. I don't want folks that text in to think I'm neglecting you. It's just the YouTube chat. It moves so much faster, and I have to keep up with it. Otherwise, I don't know what they're talking about after like 4 minutes. So I tend to spend a little more time over there. But don't worry, texters. I'm going to get you. 833-212-1017. 833-212-1017 is our phone number to call or to text. I started talking about the last Truth on Politics. We've got a disproportionate amount of conservatives, which is fine. I don't care who you vote for. Let's whatever. I just have decent reasons for it. But you know what's getting real tired, though? It's such a tired argument, y'all. And like people that say this, they want to erase history like white supremacy wants to erase black history. Because if history is told, all of it, in chronological order, including the atrocities, then white supremacy would indict itself and it would realize that it was the problem and it actually owes people restitution and reparation, okay? So they want to erase history. You know what black people do as one of their counter arguments to when like 98% of their community is voting for Democrats? They'll say some ignorant stuff like, but the Democrats were in the Klan. See, the Democratic Party, they were the racist ones. Absolutely. But fast forward to the Southern strategy where Nixon then took those Dixiecrats and brought them over to the Republican Party. They know, here's the thing, they know that, but they don't want to be looked at as now supporting the Republican Party that's the former Dixiecrats. So they always try and deflect. And it's such the argument is elementary. But Sherwin, the Democrats are the ones that were in slavery. You're correct. And Lyndon Johnson, who was a son of the South himself, who was also a Dixiecrat, said, it's time this country does right by black people. Even if he didn't want to do it. I think we also, as black folks, we're way too emotional. Yeah, but But Abraham Lincoln didn't want to free the slaves. Yeah, but Lyndon Johnson didn't want to sign that legislation. I don't care if somebody wants to do something or not. You do what is right. I don't care what your motivation is. I don't care. It doesn't make me one hill of beans whether Abraham Lincoln wanted to free slaves or not. He did. I don't care what his motivation was. We got to stop getting emotional about stuff. They don't get emotional about stuff. They see it as business. We need to start seeing it as business too. Your boss may not want to pay you, but they do. Personally, I don't care if they want to pay me or not. I worked, you pay me. That's the agreement. My boss can feel however they want to feel about it. I worked, we have an agreement, you honor the agreement. I don't care if Abraham Lincoln didn't want to free the slaves. I don't care if Lyndon Johnson didn't want to sign a dozen or more civil rights bills into law. He did it, and we benefit from it. Why he did it and his motivation for doing it, that's his business. We get too emotional, but he didn't want to. They don't want to though, but they did. Oh, get all emotional about it. But I swear to God, when black folks be like, well, you know, the Democrats were the racist ones, and now the Republicans are the racist ones, and now you're supporting the Republicans, make that make sense. That's so crazy how you got black folks erasing our own history. And when they say it, they just sound so stupid. Because, okay, so Barack Obama was a member of the Klan, huh? Barack Obama was trying to stop black people from voting, huh? Barack Obama, you know, because he's a Democrat, he was burning crosses on lawns. Huh, imagine that. And so when the outside world listens into the dialogue, the internal dialogues that black people have, because we have our conversations in front of the whole world. I mean, it's one of the reasons why Black Talk Radio exists. Because there are people that never want to have an individual conversation with black people, but you can listen to black people every single day on Black Talk Radio. And they listen to how fragmented we are on just a fundamental basic fact that the Democrats right now actually support black people. They actually look at the issues that are impacting black people and make policy and legislate based upon that, not just at the federal level, at the state level and the local level too. But for some reason, you always have a handful of Republicans. And here's what I would say to those black folks. Stay there. Stay in the Republican Party. You're not needed. I mean, you're an annoyance, but just stay. Now, here's something I've learned about being in politics for as long as I have, especially in this city, and I'm sure this applies to other cities. Democrats are less likely to pay African Americans to promote their agenda because their agenda exists in our opportunities that we have, right? So they're less likely to pay an African American to be a mouthpiece for their agenda because all we have to do is just illustrate the progress in the last 60 years we've made, and the Democrats can take a lot of credit for that. Now, there were some Republicans that voted for some of that stuff too, but it's the Democrats and their continued fight for justice, for human rights, for police reform, for healthcare reform, for resources for people who, you know, who've lost their jobs, who need help, who need social services. Like, Republicans want to cut all that stuff because they know who needs it most, right? So the Democrats are not, hey, Sherwin, if you continue to talk to President Joe Biden and interview Kamala Harris, we're going to give you $5,000 a month. They're not going to do that. Because I'm going to do it anyway because I like the progress that our people have made because of policy. A lot of policy is what created the situation that black people are in. Like 3/5 of a human being was an actual policy. Jim Crow was actual policy. You can't sit in the front of the bus it was a law. You can't drink at this water fountain. It was a law. Your kids can't go to school here where there are the best resources and the best teachers and the best textbooks. It was a law. So if policy created that stuff, then policy can undo it. There's only one political party that even makes policy nowadays, and it's the Democrats. It's only one. Republicans are reductionists. They want to make America great again. Just listen to that. That is a time reference in that slogan. Make America great again. When? 1920? When we were getting hung with ropes by our necks until we were dead? Or about 1840? Was that when America was great again? It's a directional reference, we call that. It's just, I don't even know why I still got to explain this stuff. But here's one thing I know about Republicans, because I've seen it. And I don't know how much of this I can actually say, but there is, well, you guys probably already know it, but I don't know what it is, y'all, but lately I'm worried about getting sued. I feel like somebody's going to sue me for something, so I'm just walking extra careful, but a lot of y'all can read between the lines. Okay, so because Republican policies, and now more than ever, are so incredibly unpopular with African Americans. If you listen to most black talk radio or most black media that's independent, that has the ability to editorialize, they'll talk about Kamala Harris, they'll talk about Barack Obama, they'll talk about the lower cost of insulin, they'll talk about, you know what I mean? Like, you know what we're going to discuss if you listen to most sensible, educated African Americans, right? We're going to talk about the policies of the Democratic Party, but we also have receipts for why those policies have borne fruit for us. You don't get African Americans to just sing the praises of the Republican Party. So this is just my experiences, what I've seen. Your results may vary. Republicans will pay black people unlimited amounts of money to just talk about them favorably. Democrats won't do that because we're going to talk about Democrats favorably because we can actually point to policies that have improved our lives, that was signed into law by Bill Clinton, by Barack Obama, by Lyndon Johnson, by Jimmy Carter. So they're not gonna pay me. In fact, there's been times where I've really wanted the Democrats to pay me, like, nah, no thanks. We're going to put this money into voter outreach and voter education. Sorry, Sherwin. But Republicans will pay. And they do. Because otherwise, African Americans would never talk favorably about them. And if they can just get a couple, not even a lot of black folks, just a few. At a previous radio station, I guess that might out me because y'all know where I've worked. There was a Republican talk show, and the Republicans, they paid for it. They paid the radio station for the airtime, and they paid the host. It wasn't paid to the radio station. I mean, that's just what they do, and I'm not even mad at them for that. But when we talk about the influence of money in politics, y'all, that's what it is. I'm not going to a Trump rally and sitting behind Trump on stage. No way. And even if you are a black Trump supporter, you don't need that kind of exposure. But if you give that same person that they invite to the Trump rally to sit behind him on stage, so when the camera's on Donald Trump, when Trump is at the podium and those black people are behind him on stage, pay them $3,000, I bet you they sit on stage. And the Republicans will pay. They have no problem. It's what they do. They will pay black people. Democrats don't. Or not directly. If the Democrats pay me, like, I got to do a lot of stuff. All right, Sherwin, here's a check for $94. Okay, thank you, Democrats. What would you like for me to do for this $94 check you just gave me? Oh, sure, I'm glad you asked. We want you to register 647,000 African-American voters by noon on Wednesday. Oh, okay. Whereas the Republican Party would say, hey, Sherwin. I'd say, hey, Republican person. Here's a check for $94,516. Oh, thanks. What do you want me to do for this $94,000 check, Mr. Republican check writer? Just say that the Democrats are the ones that started slavery. Okay, what else do you want me to say? I don't know. Talk about how Trump is a businessman and how gas prices were cheaper under Trump. So wait, that's all I have to do for this $94,000? Yeah, that's all. And they'll say, oh my God, I'm sorry. Well, what is a Republican check writer? Why are you apologizing to me? Is that $94,000 not enough? Let me add a one in front of it. Here's $194,000. Okay. Well, what do you want me to do for the additional $100,000 that you added to the $94,000? You want to be VIP at a Trump rally? We'll fly out to Pennsylvania. We'll put you in a first class flight and put you in a nice hotel. You just want to, what else do I have to do? No, nothing. Well, we do have a Diddy party that we're going to also invite you to. Let's talk to Al. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Good. Well, what I was going to say, depending on how some of them look, they might not even get the invitation to that Diddy party. Moving forward, the roundtable was great, but I think it would be great, just for you to be a commentator. Because I heard so much Elmore, bull, sugar, honey, iced tea. I needed a shovel for that sugar, honey, iced tea. What I was wanted to say is black Trump supporters A lot of them look at him as welfare and God. I never could understand. For the ones who are against abortion, I want to share something with you, farting mule ducks. You're not going to raise that child, so concentrate on your own, because some of y'all got baggage. And if you was an alcoholic or a drug head, you was not in your child's life, because when you take on the addiction, now the kids become the parents and you become the child, which makes you a liability. Next, I love it when I hear black people say, well, Trump have done a lot for great people, but they can never tell you what Trump done for them. Usually they sit there looking like somebody that farted in their mouth and the hemorrhoids in their throat is hemorrhaging. Next, sometimes people always say the Republican neighborhoods is ran better, but they never tell you the language that what they meant to say is those neighborhood has less blacks.
Yep.
Also, I want to share with you when they always say, well, the Democrats voted against reparation, but they forgot Mitch McConnell. He voted against reparation, and just in April, I believe his name was Bernie Moreno, who suggested reparation for white people, and that was backed by Donald Trump. So one of the reasons I'm saying this is because we need black people to get the real information, because sometimes some of our black people will feed you a line of bull sugar honey iced tea. And them genitals that's busting from that infection in their tongue is running all over the airway. So we just need to pay attention to the monkey in the room, because some people like to look stupid for the white man. So I just wanted to share that information. But yeah, you should moderate, because, I've been hearing a lot of nonsense lately, and they always want to push one thing, but they never want to say one thing. But then when you come with some real facts, they have nothing to say. Okay, I got to go. Y'all have a good one.
Okay, thank you, Al. I asked on this, what night was it? What's today? Tuesday night, when we did the Truth on Politics. I said, Tori, where are you from? And he gave the address of the house that he grew up in, I think on North 5th Street. And I said, Doc, where are you from? I called Dr. Ken Doc. I said, Doc, where are you from? South side of Chicago. I'm proud. South side of Chicago. All right, cool. Hey, DT. Hello, Sherwin. Where are you from, DT? I am proudly from Evansville, Indiana. I said, all right. I said, DT, your co-host, Telly, who was not with us on Tuesday. I said, DT, where's your co-host Telly from? He is from East St. Louis. All right. And then I think I brought up Bailey Coleman. Where's Bailey from? Bailey is from Seattle. And while we're having our conversation about these migrants from Mexico or wherever, Haiti, coming over here and infiltrating our city and taking away our resources and all this other stuff, flooding our hospitals and all the horrible things that they're doing, I said, if you live in the city of Milwaukee, you ain't got to worry about no migrant from south of the border coming here and taking your black Milwaukee job. You got to worry about people like Dr. Ken, who's from Chicago, people like Denise, who's from Evansville, Indiana, people like Telly Hughes from East St. Louis, and people like Bailey Coleman is from Seattle. We need to worry about people from other cities coming over here and taking our job. I dropped the mic on them. They didn't even know what to say after that. And then Dr. Ken, he didn't know what to say. Whenever you trap him in an argument, oh, my God, he loses his whole mind. Well, where are your parents from? Oh. He's going to get mad at me for saying this. But they got to know, if you put baby in a corner, you know what I mean? I got my own radio show now. I'm going to have to fire back, because I really couldn't get a word in edgewise on Tuesday, but they had to know. Yeah, I'll be quiet, but I'll be talking again. So I wanted to put the whole migrant conversation to rest, because it's insane to me that we think that someone who doesn't know the language, doesn't know the culture, someone who's not a citizen has a competitive advantage over us. No, we need to look at who actually does have a competitive advantage over us. If there are public school systems that are better than MPS that are in surrounding states, they can just send their public school graduates and maybe their college graduates to Milwaukee to get jobs that our kids are not even going to be qualified for. So our biggest threat to our economic livelihood is somebody from Indiana coming to Milwaukee and taking a Milwaukee job. Somebody from Michigan, somebody from Detroit coming here and taking a Milwaukee job. We need to keep our damn focus, because while we over here trying to see the migrants, migrants are coming to Milwaukee. Somebody from Tuscaloosa, Alabama is going to take a job that you should have being from Milwaukee, born and raised. You see what I mean? Somebody asked me to talk about a referendum that's going to appear on our November ballot. So I didn't even know. They didn't tell me. Did y'all know there's a referendum on the ballot? Well, some of y'all are going to be getting your ballots by like this weekend or early next week because election clerks throughout the state of Wisconsin are sending out mail-in ballots if you requested to be on that list where you always receive your ballot by mail. So you're going to be getting those. And when you receive your ballot, you're going to see a referendum on it. So I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to talk about this referendum that you're going to see on your presidential election ballot, which are getting mailed out to those that are on the list to request their ballots by mail. They're getting mailed out today. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's Telly Hughes from Truth Be Told with Denise Thomas and Telly Hughes, and I have to let you know that the best morning show in the country is streaming live on YouTube every weekday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Yes, DT and I are now waking you up in the a.m. live every weekday on YouTube. So go to YouTube right now to subscribe to 1017 The Truth so you can watch Denise and I get your morning started off right. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
The Wisconsin Black Chamber is hosting its third Thursday networking event featuring the pitch competition, September 19th at Elevate MKE, 1131 North Water, 5 to 9 p.m. Registration to compete in the pitch competition is done at the event. It starts at 5 p.m. for 15 minutes, so be on time if you want to be in that number of finalists that compete in December for the $10,000 first place prize. The audience chooses the winner at the monthly event, so ask your family and friends to come support you. Third Thursday is not just about the pitch competition, though. There's life-changing networking opportunities, games, prizes, and music by DJ L Boogie. There's no cost to attend our Third Thursday event or compete in the pitch competition, so don't miss out. Elevate MKE, September 19th, 5 to 9 p.m. Visit twbcc.com so you don't miss out on what we have going on.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated is celebrating 35 years of serving all income and medically underserved populations of Milwaukee's metropolitan area. MHSI is a one-stop shop that provides medical, radiology, dental, pediatric, behavioral health, pharmacies with affordable medications, and more. Also, MHSI's new family medicine residency program, located at the Isaac Cogg's Heritage Health Center, has brought 28 family doctors to our area, which is significantly impacted by healthcare workforce shortages. Become a new patient today. To schedule an appointment, call 414-372-8080. Your health is their business.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The Republican legislature is at it again. Whenever they propose a constitutional amendment, because right now they have the legislative majority and only they have the votes to pass what is necessary. Like, you have to, it's a process to get a referendum on the ballot, and it's got to pass the legislature like twice or something. Because the Republicans have control, this is the same Republican legislature that is withholding money from the city of Milwaukee because we don't vote for Republicans. curtailing and limiting our shared revenue, which means conditions in the city of Milwaukee are going to get worse and worse and worse. We're not able to make the necessary social and infrastructure investments because they are withholding our money, even though the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County generates more revenue and sends more tax money, more tax revenue to Madison than any other probably 10 counties combined. They're limiting how much of that money that we get back because we don't vote for Republicans. It's crazy, right? But then there's like small towns that got like a 1,000% increase in shared revenue. I think our increase was like maybe 10%. So they punish us all the time. So you got to be skeptical of the Republicans who are in control of the Wisconsin state legislature. And whenever they do something, it's not for the good of the people. It always has a Trump flavor to it. So whenever they put a referendum on the ballot, please be skeptical. What you're going to see on your November 5th presidential ballot is no different. But now it's a little bit trickier now because now they're trying to get us to be against the migrants here. So I'm going to read the referendum word for word, and then I'm going to give you my analysis of what I think they're actually trying to do. And then I got a couple other articles here that reference this constitutional amendment that you're going to see on your November 5th ballot. It says, eligibility to vote shall, Section 1 of Article 3 of the Constitution, which deals with suffrage, which is the right to vote, be amended to provide that only a U.S. citizen aged 18 or older who resides in an election district may vote in an election for national, state, or local office or at a statewide or in a statewide or local referendum. Your choices are yes, your choices are no. So right now, non-citizens cannot vote in the state of Wisconsin, period, point blank. Now, there are some cases now, and this is where it gets a little dicey, where non-citizens but legal residents can vote. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to change the Wisconsin Constitution so that if we need labor, if we have a shortage of labor, which we do in about 30 or 40 different fields of work and employment here in Wisconsin, and we need to get, let's say, Haitian migrants to come to Wisconsin towns and work. They're working. They're here legally. I need you to listen to me when I say this now. They're here legally. They were invited to come by the United States. They've got resident status. They're legally and gainfully employed. They are paying taxes, and they are spending money supporting local businesses, okay? But because their citizenship is not official, they are unable to vote. Now, there are some places because states control election law. And if we say in the state of Wisconsin that if you were here legally and the immigration process is messed up, it may take somebody 10 years to become a citizen. But in the meantime, they own a home here. They got kids here. They got a job here. They got a 401k here. They are productive citizens that are not hurting anybody. In fact, they're helping more than they're hurting. They should not have their right to vote be infringed upon in a local election. If someone is waiting to become a citizen because the federal government cannot get its head out of its John Brown hind parts to put together legislation that makes it easier for deserving people to become an American citizen, we shouldn't take away their right to vote. Because if you are here legally and lawfully, you've got a resident visa and you're here and you're working and you're paying taxes now and you're spending money supporting local businesses and you have children here, your children are citizens, and you have children in the school system. Because remember, you're still waiting for the process so you can become an actual citizen, but it takes a long time. Unless you're invited by the United States, then they can fast track it sometimes. I'm not okay with changing the Wisconsin Constitution that permanently prevents that person from voting, because there's no guarantee that even if somebody's doing it the right way, that they will become a citizen before they die. Now, they're here legally. They're here lawfully. They got all the visas and the work permits and all that other stuff, and they have children that they've had in the United States. Their kids are citizens. Their kids may go to the public school. I'm not okay changing the Constitution by telling that parent who is not yet a citizen because all the paperwork hasn't gone through because the federal government is screwed up when it comes to immigration, but they're here paying taxes, they're working, and their children go to the public school. I'm not okay telling that person you can't vote for school board. In fact, this is if you ask me now, but ain't nobody asking me, but I'm going to tell you anyway. If you are in the United States legally and you are working, and you got a legitimate job, and you're spending your money here in the United States, you should be able to vote. you're here, you're acting as if you're a citizen. You're not a felon, right? Not on paper, not on probation, not on parole from a felony, not serving any part of your confinement out in the world, right? Not on extended supervision. You're working, you're paying taxes, and you are buying things. You are purchasing things from American businesses, right? You should be able to vote. Why not? Why wouldn't they be able to vote? You're here in this country legally and lawfully. Just the paperwork hasn't gone through where you can complete the process of citizenship, because that's not the fault of the person who is legitimately trying to become an American citizen. I personally, Sherwin Hughes, is not okay with that, because if you are here working, because here's the thing, if that's the case, you got some Americans that won't get off their dusty crusties that don't want to work. They shouldn't be able to vote then. Take away their right to vote. Because I'd rather trade their right to vote for someone who was here that is working, that is paying taxes, and contributing to American society versus somebody who's just sitting on the dusty crusty. Take away the dusty crusty. Make that a constitutional amendment. If you're sitting on your dusty crusty, you can't vote. Yo, old crusty dusty. That is not a threat to me. Someone that is here in the United States because they want to be here, because they want to work, they want to be a contributing member to American society, and they have children here, their children are automatically citizens. The kids can vote, but the parents can't? Come on now. Y'all stop falling for the racism. They can't pit me against people that are not from America. Nice try, Republicans. Nice try. No, not me. Go get somebody else. Go get another fool. Y'all can't tell me who I like and who I don't like and who is a threat to me. I make that determination. You, the ones that are telling me who I should like and not like, you're the threat. I should take away your right to vote. You need to pass a psychological exam to prove that you're not a racist. And if you score less than a 99%, you can't vote. How about that? They always want literacy tests. Here, let's bring back a racism test, an anti-racist test. If you use the word woke in a demeaning way, you should not be able to vote. If you've ever used the N-word in your life with a hard ER ending and you meant it toward a black person disparagingly, you shouldn't be able to vote. Every police officer that is convicted of a hate crime or harming someone because of their race should permanently lose their right to vote. Our elections would look a lot better. Let's talk to Tony. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Hey, good morning, sir.
Oh, hell no. No, that was a nice try. Yeah, that's who you thought it was. He snuck in. How did you not know it was him? Good morning to you, sir.
Because he was talking far away from the phone. I thought it was him, but I couldn't tell if it was him. He was too far away from the phone.
Here's what I don't get. So I have my opinions. They're my opinions. And I share them. Some people don't like my opinions. They don't like them at all. They're very mad at me because I think for myself. But they listen to the show. Like, I don't listen to stuff I don't like. You know what I don't like? Sorry, I don't want to offend a lot of y'all because this is a very popular form of music nowadays. I don't like country music. I don't hate on people that listen to country music. Listen to all the country you want. Isn't Taylor Swift a little bit country? Post Malone is doing country. The fat white dude with tattoos on his face, he used to be a good rapper. Now he's a country singer. Jelly Donut, Jelly Belly, Jelly Bean. Rick, what's the big white boy name? He's gigantic. Fat Jelly.
Jelly Roll.
Yeah, that's the one. Him, he's a country singer too. I don't disparage country music. There's actually a country song that I like. There's one. It's very sad. It makes me cry when I listen to it. Me liking one country song is like a racist white person saying they have a black friend. I got one country song that I like. It's called I Hope You Dance by Leanne Womack. Oh, it's such a beautiful song. It makes me sad when I think about it. It's a very nice song. But if I don't like something, I just don't partake in it. What's something else I don't? What's a food I don't like? I like a lot of foods. Let's see. I like sushi, but I don't like eel necessarily. Eel is too chewy, and an eel is a disgusting looking creature. And some sushi that you get has eel on it. There are some people that eat sushi and they like eel. I don't like eel sushi, okay? I'm not going to eat it because I don't like it. It's just, I don't know what it is. Is it an arrogance or something? Like, I don't like Fox News because I think that their ideology to them is more important than fact, and I just don't want to consume that because it's just not good for you. So I don't watch it. And I try not to disparage people that do watch it, but when those people that watch Fox News want to bring that nonsense of what they were exposed to on Fox News over here to real fact radio, then of course I'll take issue with that. Like, I just don't get the obsession with people that don't like me or don't like my show or don't like what I say, but they listen and they call and they try to change my mind. I don't get it. All right, I'm going to take a break now. Eligibility to vote. Shall Section 1 of Article 3 of the Constitution, which deals with suffrage, be amended to provide that only a United States citizen age 18 or older who resides in an election district may vote in an election for national, state, or local office or at a statewide or local referendum? No. No is the answer to that. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
So you may have heard of Project 2025, a plan crafted by Trump and his MAGA loyalists to give Trump virtually unchecked political power and take Black America backwards. Here's how. Project 2025 strips away our voting rights protections, and it eliminates the Department of Education. It would siphon public school funding to private schools, leaving our kids behind. Planning on going to college? Good luck paying for it. Project 2025 cuts funding for federal student loans. Trump's Project 2025 would also make states monitor women's pregnancies, and it bans abortion. Project 2025 would also gut Obamacare, ripping away health care from millions. Simply put, Trump's Project 2025 would be devastating to Black America. But we can stop it by voting for Kamala Harris for president, because we are not going back.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for president.
Connie's Compassionate Care is a Wisconsin Medicaid Badger Care Plus benefit program designed to help pregnant women retain the support and services needed to have a healthy baby, from medical appointments, transportation, and health education support. So, if you or anyone you know can benefit from our agency, call 414-550-7521 to speak with Lasagna. Connie's Compassionate Care has got you covered.
Discover Epic Moves Studio at 3815 West Fond du Lac Avenue right here in Milwaukee. From group workouts and dance sessions to photography shoots, book signings, and birthdays, they've got the space for you. Need a stage? They offer rentals for all of your interior and exterior events. Pricing varies by size and time. Join the community and connect at www.epicmoves414.com or call 347-559-7355. Epic Moves Studio, where your next event comes to life.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Vice President Kamala Harris.
Talk with your listeners to remind them of their power and the importance of voting. And the folks in Milwaukee turned out for me and Joe Biden in 2020. You showed what was possible.
U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, are you a racist?
Absolutely not.
Is Donald Trump a racist?
Absolutely not. No.
And civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump.
Thank you all for speaking truth to power. That's the most important thing, because right now there are those in our community who would rather we just be quiet.
Right.
We have to disturb the peace now more than ever.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back. Steed says, hey, Sherwin, I mentioned this before. If the Republicans wanted to do something about abortion, they should make a law that says women can't get child support unless they're married to the father. Then you'd have forced marriage, probably. Let me see how I can conceptualize that. Oh, man, that's a tough one. You can't get child support, ladies, unless... Well, no, because that's not fair, Steve, because if they're married, then he shouldn't have to pay child support, him being the husband, right? Huh, how would that work? So women can't get child support. So, okay, I know families that... All right, they weren't together, the man and a woman, they had a baby, they weren't together, like dating, whatever, or at least sleeping together. The lady got pregnant, she had a baby, they weren't together, they weren't married, but then they eventually got together, like they moved in together and decided, hey, well, let's live together and be together and be in a relationship and raise our baby together. And the man still legally is on paper for child support, but the child support gets direct deposited into their joint account. So he's still on paper for child support, but the child support that is taken out of his check gets deposited into an account that he has access to. So when they take the child support out of his check, it gets put into an account and he can just withdraw it out right away. I don't know why that never got him off the paper. Maybe it's like an insurance policy that if he decides to leave and she can cut him off from the bank account, he'll still be on the paper for child support. I don't know. Or maybe just try not to have kids. You know what I mean? Because you don't really know what kind of kids you're going to get. Some kids are bad. Oh, and the person that you have the child with is probably more important because that can make the whole parenting experience tougher than it already is. Let me read that again, Steve. He says, hey, Sherwin, I mentioned this before. If the Republicans wanted to do something about abortion, they should make a law that says women can't get child support unless they were married to the father. I think ladies would have a problem with that. LT says black Republicans will ask their listeners, what have Democrats done for them? And this is stop that you can find simply by using Google. I think he meant to say stuff that you can find by using Google. But when you send it to them, they will not read it. So when they ask that question, because most people don't know, like most people can't point to a specific policy. You got to be like well-researched, well-read to point to actual bits and pieces of legislation that were signed into law by an executive. Could be a governor, could be a mayor, could be a county executive, could be a president. Most people don't know that. We just know that we have much better lives right now than black people did 70 years ago. Very few people can point to a policy. Women, to some extent, have a much better, well, up until recently, had much better lives and much more options out in the world. They could work. They can now get credit cards. They can get mortgages in their name. In the 1970s, women couldn't even get credit. But a woman is not going to be able to point to a specific policy. If I asked a woman who is out here living her best life, she ain't got no kids. She's got cats. She's got a bunch of cats. She's got a condo overlooking the river or the lake, or she just drives a Lexus hybrid. She's living it. She goes to Mexico all the time. She goes to Puerto Rico. She goes all over. She's a traveler. She's a passport sis. And I say, hey, woman, that does all these wonderful things, living your best life, living your beautiful life. You got cats. You go to Puerto Rico. You go on cruises. You do all the things. Name a policy that the Democrats have passed. She probably wouldn't be able to name none. African Americans that support Republicans want to always be able to contain and control victim status because that's all they see black people as. And Republicans offer that. We always need somebody to blame for our shortcomings, and we want to be able to point to racism. I'm going to say something to y'all, and I don't want you to be offended, meaning you're going to be offended when I say this. Some black people have every opportunity to be the best they can be, to pursue their dreams relentlessly. but they're afraid to, or they don't have the self-confidence, or they're afraid that they may alienate themselves from their loser circle that they're still connected to. And they make really bad decisions. They do stupid stuff. They want to be able to blame racism. So if there is someone that is supporting and maintaining and propping up and even increasing racism, like, they need that person to be around so they can make bad decisions, not take any responsibility for themselves, their lives, their family, their household, or their children, and just blame racism. Does that make sense to y'all? That there are some people that are in perpetual victimhood. I always got to give a gender example. You know how there's some women that just make horrible decisions about men? Yes, I know you know some of those women. Stop acting like you don't. They date married men. They date men they'll write a man in jail and fall in love with him. You know what I mean? Like this, they just do real bad at men. They're not good at men. They're bad. They date the dude with no job. You ever see dudes driving around the city during the day, smoking a blunt, listening to Jeezy, and it's got a furry steering wheel cover? You ever see dudes like that because they're driving their girlfriend's car while their girlfriends are at work and the girlfriends are paying the rent, paying all the bills, and paying all the utilities? You ever see this? Women that and men make bad decisions too, but let me use this example just to make it a little bit more abundantly clear. They make horrible, and they continue to make horrible choices when it comes to men, but then have the nerve and audacity and say that all men are awful. These are grown women that are like 46 years old that just keep making bad choices. Meet a dude that's married, stop taking her birth control, thinks that if she gets pregnant by him, he'll leave his wife for me. Never in the history of the world has that ever happened, by the way. It's make bad decisions. Some black people just make bad decisions. They say, well, America's racist. That's why I did this, because America's racist. So some of us always need that excuse. Some women make bad decisions, but they always want to rely on the fact and by saying, all men are terrible. No, you're making bad decisions. You're never going to find a good man, because part of being a good man is to stay away from bad women. You're not a good man if you involve yourself with horrible women, right? That's how good men become bad men, the women they associate with. Let's talk to... This name looks real suspect now, Ricky. Is this somebody playing? They playing with us today?
Nah, I asked him 3 times what his name was. He said that's what it was.
You sure?
It's not Tony Rome.
All right. Well, why not do this? Because I actually need to take a break right now. So person on line 1, don't go nowhere. I'll be back in 3 minutes, and then I'm going to answer the call. I'm not going to say their last name. I'm just going to say their first name when I pick up on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call, That's All Gruber Cash giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call, That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call, That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
What distinguishes Old National Bank from other lenders in helping people buy their first home and furthering their small businesses?
One thing that really makes us stand out is our grants. We have 2 really big grants right now specifically for first-time home buyers buying in Milwaukee County. The first one is for $15,000. They have to be buying within Milwaukee County and reach certain income limits. And then the second one is for $20,000, and that is through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Indiana. We're headquartered in Indiana, as you know, Denise. So that is a second grant, and that is really the highest, most robust grant program throughout the entire southeastern Wisconsin area. So it's up to $35,000 essentially that a person could be receiving for their first home. If you are in a position that you're looking to buy your first home throughout Milwaukee County, please give me a call. Please contact me. I'm more than happy to help everybody that I can.
And what's your number, Anna?
Sure.
How can they reach you?
414-978-0283.
Don't think twice. Call Geist. Garage doors giving you headaches? Best way I know how to deal with it is to call my friends at Geist. Family owned since 1955, Geist is the trusted authority on garage doors and openers in southeastern Wisconsin. Trust me, I use them too. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to match your exact needs. For fast, reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeistDoors.com or call 262-784-4250. GeistDoors.com. Don't think twice. Call Geist.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
In our community, you will find a Center for Food Security. You'll discover a Center for Behavioral Health Support, a proven Center for Home Care, a successful Center for Employment, a Center for Trauma Recovery, and more. We are Centers for Independence. Find out how you can support Centers for Independence's work and mission at cfihope.org/independence.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Either I talk fast or some of y'all listen slow. Where did this come from that I was born in Mississippi? My mother is from Mississippi. My father was born in Troy, Alabama by way of Sarasota, Florida. So no, I'm from here. Y'all should know, black folks from Mississippi do not sound like me. I promise you that. So no, ain't no part of me born in Mississippi. I was born in the St. Michael's Hospital on March 6, 1975. Oh, it was a glorious time.
How do people from Mississippi talk?
No, I'm not falling.
I thought you were going to fall down.
No, buddy. No, sir. They don't talk like me, though. All right, let's talk to Lee. Hi, Lee. How are you doing, Lee?
Good evening, Sherwin. How are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask you 4 questions.
That's a lot of questions, now.
It will be simple. All right. With the example that was made on January 6th, people are aware of what's going on around the world with the issue of letting immigrants into their country and far-right governments being formed. Do you think that we've made the best example by allowing this nonsense to continue? By entertaining this?
Hold on, what are we entertaining? What nonsense is continuing? You said January 6th, and then, yeah. No, this makes sense.
The issue from right to left is now politics divided by the issue of race and what could be beneficial to a certain group of people. So what is your idea of a good black Republican?
I don't have a good idea of a black Republican. Ask a black Republican what a good idea of a black Republican is. Right now, the Republican Party is where white supremacy lives and breathes because they're worried about replacement theory. They don't want migrants. They don't want immigrants. They don't want non-white people coming to this country because when you hear them talk about immigration, it's not people from England or Sweden or Norway or Denmark that they're trying to keep out of here. It's non-white people. So their arguments on integration, and black folks fall for it. We think that those people that are coming here that are browner than they are white are a threat to us. No, they're only a threat to white supremacy. And because the Republican Party has been co-opted by a white supremacist, J.D. Vance too, and don't be fooled because he has an Indian wife, some of the best white racists love black women, sleep with black women, and married non-white women. So this immigration thing, that is not our issue. As black people, we should want more non-white people in this country so we can actually have a majority. Is there another question somewhere?
I agree with that.
Well, let's go to question 2 because I only got about 3 minutes left.
Okay, so what do you think of this Democratic Party and under Biden? Do you think he's possibly could go down as the greatest president in history?
No. I think he made a great sacrifice by stepping down and allowing an African-American woman to assume the reins to a fanfare unlike anything this nation has ever seen. And so the people being so grateful, showered her with $500 million in like 3 weeks. So,
what method would you have for saving the world and the souls in it?
I'm not here to save the world. I'm trying to save my damn city. I can't even take on what's going on in Mequon and Oak Creek. I need to save Milwaukee. Don't put that on me. What's the next question?
So you wouldn't say Biden could possibly have ended racism?
No. Why would you expect a white man who was born in the 1940s to end racism? Racism is a European concept. Like, how's one white man going to change the attitudes of probably 300 million white Europeans across the globe? Next question.
Sometimes it takes one good apple to inspire a whole bunch to.
That's insanity.
Wash their ass.
Okay, do you have another question? Hello?
What should people do then? Given this new terrain and political landscape.
Vote your conscience, vote your future, vote for children, vote on behalf of vulnerable people, vote for happiness, vote for optimism, vote for joy, vote for investment, vote for education. Vote for history being told in chronological order instead of the party that wants to erase it.
Beware of legacy media.
Okay.
Have a good day, Sherwin.
Thank you. What the hell was that, y'all? What was that? Oh! I know what this is. Did y'all see the moon? The moon is full. In fact, the moon is so full. I saw it this morning. I'm not playing. What time I leave the house today? About 10 to 7? Oh, this is a full moon show. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. The moon is full. That explains what's happening. What was he said his name was Lee Wang. I don't think his last name was Wang. He didn't sound like a Wang. Or actually, he kind of did sound like a bit of a Wang. A little bit.
So when I asked him, I said, did you say Wayne, Lee Wayne, or Lee Wang? He said Wang, as in one chicken.
Oh, good God almighty.
That what he told me?
No, I believe you.
So I'm like, hey, I'm just a producer.
That's what you are. You produce, and you produced. You produced Lee Wang like a chicken Wang.
Ain't no thing like a Lee chicken Wang.
I see that. Craig says, Sherwin, let them talk. Let them tell their truth. That's what the station is all about. Let them show why we need to be educated and critical thinkers today.
Basically, he said, let them cook.
Fair enough.
Let them cook.
Yeah, but if they're talking nonsense, though, like, I don't want to hear that nonsense. Daniel says, Sherwin, how do you feel about Eritrean and Ethiopian cuisine? I don't think I've ever had it. The only African food. Well, what do they serve at is it the African Hut? What's the one on Farwell? Is that Ethiopian? That stuff is delicious.
I don't know, but I've been meaning to check out some African food, though. I want to try the fufu.
It's delicious. I might have had some fufu, some fifi. I think I had some yams, bams, and tam-tams. But it's delicious. You eat it with this bread, the injera bread, and you eat it and you put it in your mouth and eat it. I'm going to take a break. This is a full moon episode of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, so beware. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, at 1017thetruth.com. Friday Night Lights officially lives here. 1017 The Truth is the proud home of Marquette University High School championship football. Be sure to tune in every Friday night at 7 p.m. as we bring you some of the best gridiron action in the area. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices and sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Left's Lucky Town, Boyle Frederickson Intellectual Property Law, and Marquette University High School.
What's good, y'all? This is 101.7 The Truth's Telly Hughes, and I am Milwaukee. The goal of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is to provide a platform for citizens of Milwaukee and Truth Nation to have their voices heard about concerns that have daily, direct impact. So join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Research shows that high-quality teachers have the greatest impact on student success during the school day. By shaping their students, they are shaping the future. Yet while actors have Oscars, musicians have Grammys, and athletes have gold medals, exemplary educators who prepare every profession are just not recognized enough. The Milken Educator Awards set out to change that by surprising outstanding educators across the nation with $25,000 prizes and providing a platform to celebrate, elevate, and activate the profession.
Erica Stevens!
The awards were created by Lowell Milken of the national nonprofit Milken Family Foundation. The journey to surprising the 3,000th Milken Educator is in full swing. Who will be next?
Honey, they chose me.
Celebrate teachers, value teachers, thank teachers.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Attention Milwaukee County residents. Are you prepared for the unexpected? From sudden storms to unforeseen emergencies, readiness is key. Take charge of your safety with a family emergency plan and an essential emergency kit. Stay informed and connected during emergencies. For tips and resources, visit us online or contact the Milwaukee County Office of Emergency Management. Prepare now, stay safe, and build a resilient community together, because readiness starts with you.
You're listening to the new 101.7 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 101.7 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's hour 3 already. How did that happen? These full moon shows be wild. I need to read you guys something. Don't let me forget, because it's really important. Steed says, I got to clear up. He needs to clear up. Maybe I was confused. Hang on a second. Steed, I just lost your message. Here it, right here. Here we go. Sherwin, to clear up any misunderstandings, the women would only be eligible for child support if they were previously married to the man. Only because the man only has the choice to have sex, but the woman has the choice to have sex and make the decision to have the baby. Ooh, that's a mic dropper. Oh, buddy. Until Roe was overturned, having a baby was a choice. That's not offensive when I say that, right? When a woman has a baby, assuming it's pre-Trump and post 1973. Having a baby is a choice. That's why I can't call a single mother like a victim. But I'm just a poor single mom. You chose. Can we please have a little higher level of responsibility for someone that chose to have the baby? Then they realize that having a child sucks. And they're like, oh my God, I'm a victim of my own choice. Somebody help me. Everybody help me. Please help me. Government help me. Somebody help me. That was the choice. Sometimes choices suck bad. They do. I don't like choices sometimes, especially when you make the wrong one. But then you make a wrong choice, but I'll never do that again. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm being very honest right now. Let me have a moment of humbleness. Up until they made abortion more difficult in this country, unless states pass referenda, wasn't having a baby a choice. I mean, you can tell yourself, oh, no, I'm pregnant. I have to, no matter what, have this baby. But if you found out you were pregnant, ladies, I'm going to use my whisper voice. If you found out you were pregnant and you just, like, you didn't really know the dude that well, like, he's cool, you know what I'm saying? But he's not, you don't want him to be in your life like that. And it's like you just got accepted into school, you know what I'm saying? Or you just got this new job or whatever. Things are going real good for you. You just got this new apartment, you know what I mean? And you got pregnant. Like, damn. And then you went and, you know what I mean? You just went and did your thing, had a discussion between you and your doctor, and you realized it wasn't the best time for you. And then you got to heal up for a couple of days, and you just go on back to living your best life. Nobody even has to know that. Nobody has to know. Nobody knows. It's a choice that you made for your life, your future, what you want. And maybe it's just too soon. It's not the right time. You still got a bunch of eggs left. You'll fertilize the next one that comes along, or maybe in a couple of years you'll still have some eggs. But by the time you get 30, ladies, you only got about 4% of your eggs left. So I'm not saying you can't, but it gets dicey. You know what I mean? Nobody, unless like religion or stuff, but religion shouldn't, to me, religion loses all of its effectiveness when it makes people do things against their will. If somebody's like, damn, I can't have this baby. I can't afford this baby. I just got accepted into school. I just got this new apartment. I got stuff that I want to do. I got places I want to travel. I want a life I want to live. This baby is going to stop all of that. I don't want to have the baby, but my religion is telling me that I have to. Your religion is not going to pay the diaper bill, whatever that is. Or I guess you can use breast milk.
Not your way of telling people don't have kids.
No, I'm just saying women need to be able to make that choice, and they can make it quietly and silently. Nobody needs to know that, but it's a choice to have the baby. If I was a lady and I got pregnant, if I was a lady and I met me, I'm keeping that baby. Yes. But if I was a lady and I got pregnant by a dude, I don't really know him so good. I mean, he's all right, but I don't want him around forever. And I certainly don't want to have his baby, and I don't want to have the pregnancy belly and stuff. I don't want to eat pickles and ice creams. I want to travel. I want to just party and kick it and live my best. I wouldn't have that baby. Like, no way. Maybe another time. And I wouldn't feel guilty about it either, because if I don't want the child, then I'm going to probably raise a monster. You know what happens to kids that aren't loved? It's bad. They do terrible things. I hope I didn't get in trouble for saying that. But I just thought having a child before Roe was a choice. And a woman can choose, like, yeah, I don't want to have the baby right now. There's married women that have made that choice. All right, let's talk to Bob. I would tell you to keep it on topic, but because this is a full moon show, I ain't no telling what you're going to say.
Hello, Sherwin. I'll try to keep it on topic. This is a different world. It really is. Back in the Jim Crow time, you couldn't have even thought about voting for Trump. I mean, could you see Martin Luther King voting for Trump? I can't even see Al Sharpton. And, when we were talking about jail, when I first came down here, I worked at a company.
Wait, Bob, stop. When were we talking about jail?
Well, you were talking about how this guy was the only white guy in the plant, was going to jail if he didn't pay child support. You can remember, you mentioned that, and it really, he had to work.
Sometimes, Bob, when I listen to you, I don't know who has Alzheimer's, you or me. Go on.
Well, think about this, my last point. You mentioned baby, and it reminded me. Do you know I was 22 years old when I got married, and I was 23 when I had my first child. And do you know you're 23 years older than me? I mean, it's no big deil. It's just strange.
What?
You're 23 years older than me, and I was 23 when I had my first
okay,
child.
gotcha. I'm 23 years older than you. You're 23 years older than me now, and you were 23 when you had your first child.
Oh, yeah,
Zero relevance. Not even a total non sequitur. Like, makes no sense at all. Not even a correlation there. Doesn't.
Look, the bottom line is
there's a bottom line. This is going to be excellent. Go ahead with the bottom line.
I can't see anyone voting for Trump. It's a new era. It's a new day. I mean, I just don't understand this era we're in now. There's no leaders. Not really.
There's leaders everywhere. There's all sorts of leaders. There's leaders.
How can you vote for Trump? I mean, it's like voting for George Wallace.
It's exactly like voting for George. You're right, it is. And I don't know why people and how they can vote for Trump. You're asking the wrong person. Y'all ask me questions I'm just not qualified to answer. I'm sure there's somebody else that you guys can call and ask why they're voting for Trump. I'm not the one.
You have the answer. I'll leave on that note. I would wish you would tell me why these people are voting for Trump. I'll sit back and listen to you. Now, I know they're getting paid some money to sit behind them, but it's got to be something more than that. And you can do it. You can tell me. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Bob. Thank you for that. That was a bunch of nothing. Okay, so there are people that are, I'm going to call them politically non-affiliated. They just never get into politics. It's just not their thing. They don't follow it. It's for other people to follow. They got other stuff to worry about. You know those people. They're more concerned about, like, their family. They got to go to work. They got to take care of their responsibilities. They just don't really get interested in politics. Do you know those people? I call them politically unaffiliated. Maybe they voted, maybe they haven't, maybe they registered, maybe they didn't. Think of a politically non-affiliated person. They just don't really talk about politics. It ain't for them. If they're walking into a room and people are talking about Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and Mike Pence, they might walk out of the room. Do you know those people? It's just not really for them, right? Or maybe they don't know a lot about it. And when someone is not knowledgeable about a subject, they tend to just shy away from it because they don't want to look stupid. We know people like that, and there's nothing against those people. Those are some of the greatest people ever. They just don't get into the politics, right? It's just not their thing. But then if you take that person who's just worried about their lives and they don't really connect the dots of how their life and the trajectory of their life relates to politics, they don't really know. They don't care. They're just not involved. They're just whatever. But then if you take that person that's politically non-affiliated and you sit them down and you say, look, here's what the Democrats do. Here's what the Republicans do. The Republicans freed the slaves. You give them real basic information, okay? And you take this politically non-affiliated person, or more importantly, someone who basically hates both political parties because they don't see or understand what either political party does because all they see is their struggle. And they're like, oh, ain't no Democrat never put food on my table. Ain't no Republican ever paid any of my bills. They hate them both. But then you say, hey, I'll give you $50,000 to talk favorably about the Republicans. And here's a couple of things that you can say for this $50,000. You just made a Republican. Sometimes it only takes someone who is ignorant of the process, ignorant of politics, who just doesn't know, or they hate both parties. I can like something if it pays me, if it doesn't go against my moral compass. But then politically, these people didn't have a moral compass. Have y'all ever had a job you didn't like? Yes, you have. You accepted a paycheck, right? Thank you. You can pay somebody to do something that they don't like. It happens every damn day. Someone may hate the Republican Party, but that hate, they turn that frown upside down if that comes with a $50,000 stipend, don't it? Thank you. I haven't had a ding in ages. I've been feeling dingless. Where my dings at? No! All right, hold on. Chill out now. Don't over-ding. Don't do that now. If I'm benign on something, like I can kind of go either way. Ladies, woo, I got one for y'all. Y'all ready for this, ladies? 2 guys. I mean, you're not really interested in either one of them. They're decent. You know what I mean? They're not incredibly handsome. They're not necessarily very tall. They're kind of boring. They got a little sense of humor. It's just two dudes, and they're basically evenly matched. They're both like 5s at best. They're just, you can tolerate them. You know, you can find something, I guess, about them that you kind of like a little bit, but they're both 5s. They don't really trip your trigger. They don't move your needle. They're just 5s. And you know these two dudes. One of them is worth $1.7 million and has no children and owns his house outright. Not a 5 anymore, is he? He's a now much better consideration because he's got money and he's willing to spend it on you. You were kind of like wishy-washy on him. You didn't like, sometimes he texts you. You might text him back, you might not. Let you find out he's worth $2 million and is just dying to spoil a woman. Sometimes money can change our minds. Let's talk to Brian. You're on 101.7 The Truth.
Sometimes money can change.
Turn that radio off, man.
Yep, right about that. Turn that sucker all the way down. Yeah, you're right about that, making money for political favors. Sheriff Clark made a fortune doing his speech for the Republicans over the years.
Still does.
Yeah. Don't they help out Democrats as well?
Who is they?
Don't they help out Democrats with the influence to get them to push their narratives? And don't they pay them? Don't they pay Democrats as well?
Not in the same way. So Democrats don't pay black people the way Republicans pay black people. Democrats will hire a black organization to do voter outreach. Democrats will spend money on a black radio station that allows Democratic candidates to talk to black voters. Republicans will pay black people just to say nice things about them. Or Republicans will pay black people to allow a Republican access to whatever social media they have or whatever circles or spheres of influence. Tammy Baldwin has been on my show. Tammy Baldwin didn't pay me anything. She barely paid me attention, but I didn't care because she wasn't here for me. She was here to talk to the audience.
Well, if anybody deserves a position in the Harris administration, it's you, because you've been pushing this narrative even before she even ran for office. So if they don't give you a position in a 4,000 administration, they're fools.
I'm not doing it for that. Even if they offer me something, I wouldn't take. I can't imagine what they would have to offer me where I would leave my home in Milwaukee and go work in D.C.
Yeah, well, you gave her popularity.
No,
you gave her more popularity than anybody else in this country.
Brian, she got 81 million votes, dude. Come on, dog.
She only got the influence because you started it, though. You started.
I'm not taking credit.
You interviewed her first before anybody else. You started it.
She was vice president.
I don't.
Brian, stop. You're doing too much full moon stuff, dog. Don't be ridiculous. Okay, I got to read y'all something because this show is. I had a whole bunch of stuff. This show in my head when I laid it out this morning, I had bullet points. I had a whole outline. Y'all ripped up the outline. I meant to make a point today. All right, I'm going to get back onto it. I'm take a break. I'm going to come back. I'm going to read you two things. Do not let me get off topic. I'm going to read two things. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it is Denise Thomas from Truth Be Told with DT and Telly, and I am so excited for you to tune in to our monthly interview with Old National Bank. Old National Bank will be joining us to discuss why they are so committed to supporting women and people of color-owned businesses, while also discussing their empowerment loan program, which can provide your business access to funds up to $5 million. So don't miss our Truth Be Told monthly interview with Old National Bank at 8 a.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
So you may have heard of Project 2025. a plan crafted by Trump and his MAGA loyalists to give Trump virtually unchecked political power and take Black America backwards. Here's how. Project 2025 strips away our voting rights protections, and it eliminates the Department of Education. It would siphon public school funding to private schools, leaving our kids behind. Planning on going to college? Good luck paying for it. Project 2025 cuts funding for federal student loans. Trump's Project 2025 would also make states monitor women's pregnancies, and it bans abortion. Project 2025 would also gut Obamacare, ripping away health care from millions. Simply put, Trump's Project 2025 would be devastating to Black America. But we can stop it by voting for Kamala Harris for president, because we are not going back.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for president.
Your drink, sir?
This virtual vacation is brought to you by Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. For the full experience, visit flymke.com to explore our many nonstop destinations. With super convenient parking and low fares, flying from Milwaukee makes traveling so easy, it's like starting your vacation early. Fly easy, fly MKE.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Oh, well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I got to read you something. The American Civil Rights Movement was one of the defining social campaigns of the 20th century. Much of the daily life of Black Americans in the 1950s and 60s was filled with segregation and discrimination, even almost 100 years after the signing of the 14th and 15th Amendments. Civil rights activists sought to rectify this injustice through mass protests across the southern United States. Protests included the Montgomery bus boycott, the Greensboro sit-in, and the Freedom Rides, all of which received intense backlash from many white Americans. Protesters were threatened, fired, arrested, and assaulted. The first major legislative victory came with the introduction of a Civil Rights Act proposed by John F. Kennedy in 1963. About 250,000 people attended the March on Washington to support the legislation. The following year, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 into law. This act is made up of 11 parts or titles. Each title has a different focus. Title I, Title II, Title VI, and Title VII contain discrimination protections pertaining to voting, patrons of businesses and employees, and federally funded programs. Title III and Title IV directly deal with desegregation in public libraries, parks, schools, and colleges. Title V, Title VIII, Title IX, Title X, and Title XI expand federal civil rights programs, including the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights, and a variety of clauses that allow for greater federal intervention in cases of discrimination. 60 years later, the Civil Rights Act is still a critical piece of legislation that is being amended and interpreted. It has led the way for other civil rights statutes and continues to be utilized to protect all Americans from discrimination. Okay, we cool? We good? Everybody heard that part? All right. Don't worry, there's more. Allies of Donald Trump and powerful conservative organizations are preparing to launch an offensive against anti-white racism should former President Donald Trump retake the White House in November. According to a report from Axios.com, those in Trump's orbit are gearing up for a widespread reinterpretation of the Civil Rights Act to combat what they perceive as reverse discrimination against white people. Did you read? No, you didn't. You listened to it. Remember the first thing? March on Washington, 250,000 people, black people discriminated against? Trump and his allies want to rewrite the 1964 Civil Rights Act to protect white people from discrimination. So let me go to the Axios story, because that one was what I just read was from Rolling Stone magazine. From Axios.com, exclusive, Trump allies plot anti-racism protections for white people. If Donald Trump returns to the White House, close allies want to dramatically change the government's interpretation of civil rights laws to focus on white people rather than discrimination against people of color. Trump's Justice Department would push to eliminate or upend programs in government and corporate America that are designed to counter anti-black racism and favor white people. Targets would range from decades-old policies aiming at giving minorities economic opportunities to more recent programs that began in response to the pandemic and the killing of George Floyd. Trump campaign spokesperson Stephen Chung told Axios, quote, as president, Trump has said all staff, offices, initiatives connected to Biden's un-American policies will be immediately terminated. Longtime aides and allies preparing for a potential second Trump administration have been laying legal groundwork with a flurry of lawsuits and legal complaints, some of which have been successful. A central vehicle for the effort has been America First Legal, founded by former Trump aide Stephen Miller, who has called the group Conservatives' long-awaited answer to the ACLU. America First cited the Civil Rights Act of 1964 in February in a lawsuit against CBS and Paramount Global for what the group argued was discrimination against a white straight man who was a writer for a show called SEAL Team in 2017. The group filed a civil rights racism lawsuit against the NFL over the Rooney Rule. The rule, named for Dan Rooney, the late owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, was introduced in 2003 and expanded in 2022. It requires NFL teams to interview at least 2 minority candidates for vacant general manager head coaching positions. American First argued that, quote, given the limited time frame to hire executives and coaches after the season, this results in fewer opportunities for similarly situated, well-qualified candidates who are white. In 2021, Stephen Miller's group successfully sued to block the implementation of a $29 billion pandemic-era program for women and minority-owned businesses, saying it discriminated against white people. It's not funny, but it's just insane. And there's black people that are going to vote to undo the Civil Rights Act so it eliminates the protections for black people and gives those protections to white people. This ruling is the first but crucial step toward ending government-sponsored racial discrimination against white people. Other Trump-aligned groups are preparing for a future Trump Justice Department to implement or challenge policies on a broader scale. The Heritage Foundation's well-funded Project 2025 envisions a second Trump administration ending what it calls affirmative discrimination. Part of the plan, written by former Trump Justice Department official Gene Hamilton, argues that advancing the interests of certain segments of American society comes at the expense of other Americans and in nearly all cases violates long-standing federal law. Such groups have gained momentum with the Supreme Court's turn to the right, most notably its decision to reject affirmative action in college admissions. The court ruled that programs designed to benefit minorities and address past injustices now discriminate against white people. In 2021, a federal judge blocked a $4 billion program to help black farmers. It goes on and on. They're steadily chipping away at the 1964 Civil Rights Act because it affords too many protections and gives too many opportunities to black people. You got to know this about the Trump administration and Trump allies. They feel that white people are being discriminated against. So just think about, like, that's their mind frame, right? So, of course, they don't want migrants coming here from Haiti, and they don't want migrants coming here from Mexico or Central America or South America because they're not white. They already feel discriminated against. Just take it from their perspective. You guys are being very selfish. These minorities are coming over here, and they're taking jobs. My grandparents never had to worry about a brown person taking the job because we didn't allow brown people in the town after dark. We lived in sundown towns. This is when America was great. We could just go and get a job. Now somebody from Mexico was here. That's not fair to me. You guys not understand where we're coming from? I don't want someone to come in here from another country. And what if they have a baby? It's discriminating against me. I want to go to college. They're letting it into blacks. Affirmative action, my foot. That's my whole family has gone to the University of Wisconsin-Stumpton. Now they let blacks in. Stumpton's a made-up university. But now I can't go now. They're discriminating against white people. Well, what do you mean there was no black head coaches in the NFL, but there's lots of black people to be qualified to be coaches in the NFL? But it's a white person's job. White people are good coaches. Well, I've always had white coaches. The NFL's on. Why do you guys want to give blacks stuff? All the blacks want is welfare. It's not fair. You're discriminating against white people. And now the blacks are voting. Why are they voting? What does that mean for me? Are they going to vote for someone that doesn't like me? Do you guys see how they're discriminating against white people? You guys are all a bunch of racists against white people. I applied for a job. I did very good in the interview. I mean, I didn't really prepare for the interview, but I whatever. It's fine. I wore a suit. I wore nice shoes. I didn't get a call back. And I looked, and they said they filled the job, and they hired someone named Malenga Omagambole. He shouldn't even be in this country. He took that job from me. I should have had that job. You know, I don't have a college degree, but my parents didn't need a college degree. Now the blacks are coming over here, and they're going to college. And I want student loans forgiven. See how it's unfair? It's very upsetting. Earlier this month, another federal judge ruled that the Commerce Department's Minority Business Development Agency was discriminating against white people. The Trump campaign directed Axios to the candidates' already stated positions bashing Biden's policies promoting equality. Every institution in America is under attack from the Marxist concept of equality. Trump said that in 2023. I will get this extremism out of the White House, out of the military, out of the Justice Department, and out of our government. You know, this thing of equality is Marxism. The Trump campaign's Stephen Chung added, President Trump is committed to weeding out discriminatory programs and racist ideology across federal government that harm white people. The NFL and Miller declined to comment. CBS didn't respond to a request for comment from Axios. A CBS poll last November found that 58% of Trump voters believed that people of color were advantaged over white people. I'm reading that again for the people in the back on a full moon Thursday. A CBS poll last year found that 58% of Trump voters believed that people of color were advantaged over white people. Polls also show, however, that Trump is gaining support among black and Latino voters. Insanity. And listen, let me just say this. I know I was being kind of tongue-in-cheek before. Knowing that they're taking the Civil Rights Act and now turning it upside down so that it protects white people from discrimination. And they're doing all of this in broad daylight. They've got the U.S. Supreme Court in their pocket that are going to uphold when a white person sues for discrimination because a black person got a job, like that black person is probably going to end up losing that job in the lawsuit. So they're seeing an increase in black and Hispanic voters come over to Trump. They're laughing at them. How I would be in that smoke-filled back room with my cigar if I was them, like, these darkies are they're insane. We're literally coming for everything that they worked for. This is amazing. And all we have to do is just, like, continue doing what we're doing. And we're naturally getting more of them. Good Lord, we'll never give them reparations. In fact, do you think we'd lose any darky support if we instituted slavery again? What do you think? Well, a couple would get mad, obviously, but okay. All right, we'll try it. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ring in the changing of the seasons with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra when it presents When the Saints Go Marching In, September 20th through the 22nd at the Bradley Symphony Center. The MSO and its newly appointed principal pops conductor Byron Stripling will be joined on stage by Broadway star Crystal Monet Hall, organist Bobby Floyd, and drummer Jim Rupp for a musical journey through the roots of the blues with songs like Alexander's Ragtime Band, St. Louis Blues, Sweet Georgia Brown, and so many others. Visit MSO.org to reserve your best seats now or call the box office at 414-291-7605. Come and experience some of the most iconic hits to come out of New Orleans and the Jazz Age with When the Saints Go Marching In, running September 20th through the 22nd only. The number again for tickets is 414-291-7605 or online at MSO.org.
Check out Jammin' with Juice, where it's amazingly juicy.
I'm going to tell y'all straight up, though. Y'all little brothers, y'all little sisters, y'all doing good. I don't think y'all know how good y'all doing it.
Thank you.
Because it's hard to get the young people to talk about these important issues.
Like, let's say you washing your body, you washing your hair, you wash your face, you cleaned your ears, you got behind them ears, you brushed your teeth, your makeup off, you done exfoliated, you done shaved. Why not brush your teeth in the shower? Why not use the bathroom in the shower? As we wrap up the show with a bow, I'm flaming, bitch. You was looking up to Steve Harvey.
Yeah. He was a positive black man, you know.
I feel
Had
it.
a good show. He had some swag.
He was a music teacher.
He was the music teacher.
You love music.
Yeah. Shoot, he was messing around with the principal. Like, come on now.
He thought he was playing.
Yeah. He's a king of comedy. This man doing it. I want to be like Steve. What's up, my jammer?
What's up, guys? You know what? I just want to say you guys are the best thing rocking at 12 noon. You guys just bring so much energy to 12 o'clock. I don't even want to eat my lunch because I want to hear what Big Damn and Naughty you got to say.
You sitting at the crib, you watching TV, and your life's passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Maybe I'll go to school next year, maybe next month. No, do it right now. You can do it after work, or you can do it before work. Just do whatever you need to do to graduate. There is definitely a line when it comes to just enhancing your beauty versus like completely altering your entire body in more ways than one to look completely different.
From the 414 to everyone across the globe, Jammin' with Juice is here for you. Check out Jammin' with Juice daily on YouTube. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back to the award-winning Truth with Sherwin Hughes. What did I get? I got a second place Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Award for my interview with Kamala. And then I got something else. But I had a Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Award before I came here. And all you need is one, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But I'm starting to see, and I know they listen to my show, that's why I don't win nothing. Because you can't, it's like you can't talk about the Oscars being so white, then you won't get an Oscar. Grammys are different though, because Jay-Z will win a Grammy, talk about the Grammys, and not go and boycott the Grammys and get a Grammy. And WBAs are different. I sometimes don't want an award, even though somebody wants to give me one, because it depends on who it's from, right? I don't want an award from anybody. My reward and award is you guys every day listening to me, and we have our little dialogues, and y'all come to Beyond the Mic, get drunk. That's my reward. That's all I need. That's right. Let's talk to Tony. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm good. What's on your mind, Mr. Tony?
Look, my heart's a little heavy because I between me posting over and over and over again about how Trump plans to give police officers full-blown immunity, and everything you just said just now is just heartbreaking. I don't know how any black person in their right mind would even consider voting for this man. I know it irritates me that I said this before on your show that people love to bring up what Kamala Harris did in the past. I'm like, you guys are focusing on what Trump is doing right now. Why is it all right to go after Kamala's past, but when I bring up Trump's past, no response?
Tony,
I don't know how any black person can look at this.
I got a question, Tony. What is in Kamala's past that they bring up?
Oh, the usual. Well, she almost got a black person killed because of the death penalty thing in Florida, and I immediately brought up that Trump had about 18 black people killed in his last 3 months when he refused to stop executions the way 100 presidents before him have done. Trump has done that 10 times over. They bring up how she used to prosecute black people, which I say she did not prosecute black people. She prosecuted criminals who happened to be black, white, and Hispanic. But you know how you get them, Sherwin? When you say that to their face, their head dip and they start smiling like they don't want to hear that part. They don't want to hear that part. It's like you bring up anything like that that's logical, they get that sheepish smile on their face like they know they've been beat. They refuse to admit it. I just read the Axios thing you just said. I got past the first 5, 6 chapters and I stopped. I couldn't even finish the rest. Couldn't even finish it.
Well, I'm going to finish it. I want people to know.
They're not listening. And no offense, I know you don't like people bringing up your coworkers.
Don't. I got in trouble for that. Tory got mad at me the other night.
No.
Got mad. Y'all need to stop.
Show him that article. Show him that article.
I will. For what, Tony? What are you going to do, read it and believe it? No, I ain't going to show him nothing.
That's frightening. Terrifying. I don't get it.
I just don't concern myself with things that I can't control. I live a peaceful life, Tony.
Maybe a tighter turn. Okay, thanks.
All right. Just go register a bunch of people to vote, Tony. That's all you got to do. Don't worry about it. Ooh, Tory got mad at me. So apparently somebody called my show, surprise, surprise, complaining about Tory. Well, apparently I let the person go on a little bit too long. And it's happened before. Somebody calls and says, oh, Sherwin, blah, 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 blah. And then we hang up on him and I said, Tory is a wonderful man. I've known him for a very long time. He's like a fantastic human being. He and I just don't agree on politics. And I leave it there. And some of the things that he says, I don't even know what he says because I don't listen to his show. I don't even listen to talk radio. I don't. When you do talk radio, you don't listen to it. Not really. So he was like, so sure. What I'm saying is, sure. What I'm saying though is, you should have. I didn't like that. It was disrespect. If somebody called, what I'm saying, sure. When if somebody called my show and they talk about you, I hang up on them. I said, Tori, you ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta do that. Let them talk about me. Let everybody gonna have an opinion about me, no matter what. I got my own show. I can defend myself. A lot of people like me. A lot of people like what I talk about. I don't care if somebody calls your show and complain about me. That don't bother me none. I don't lose no sleep. Let me tell you why I don't lose no sleep, because I sleep butt naked with the fan on. I love having a fan on. I love it. And sometimes I like it cold in my room, but then I like to bundle up in the covers. My air conditioning bill be high because I need 66 degrees. You understand it? I need a certain temperature. And I walk in, and I'm like, ooh, it's cold in here. And I get naked, which makes me cold. I'm like, I better get in these blankets to warm me up. It's a whole routine I do. But I sleep great. I don't care. Allies of Donald Trump and powerful conservative organizations are preparing to launch an offensive against anti-white racism should the former president retake the White House in November. According to a report from Axios, those in Trump's orbit are gearing up for a widespread reinterpretation of the 1964 Civil Rights Act to combat what they perceive as reverse discrimination against white people. According to the report, this would include the mass gutting of governmental programs and diversity initiatives. As President Trump has said, all staff, all offices, and all initiatives connected to Joe Biden's un-American policy on diversity will be immediately terminated. The initiative is already being spearheaded by former Trump advisor Stephen Miller, who founded the right-wing judicial activist outfit America First Legal after leaving the White House. Miller has leveraged civil rights-era laws intended to protect black people from discrimination to challenge woke corporate policies of inclusion. America First Legal sued Nike, Disney, United Airlines, the National Football League, and CBS Entertainment, among others, for allegedly discriminating against white men. Several of the lawsuits cite the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Miller and his organization are not acting alone. America First Legal was first consulted by the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank, in the drafting of its Project 2025 policy handbook. The handbook contains language calling for an end to affirmative discrimination and calls for an incoming conservative administration to reorganize and refocus the Department of Justice's Rights Division to serve as the vanguard for the return to lawfulness. Trump himself has reportedly claimed to be the target of anti-white discrimination. As previously reported by Rolling Stone magazine, the former president has directed his advisors to look into ways he might compel the Department of Justice to investigate New York Attorney General Letitia James, who successfully sued the former president for fraud this year. Trump regularly refers to James as a black racist in his social media posts and public statements. Any black person that prosecutes Donald Trump is racist. So let me just say this about Kamala Harris putting black people in jail when she was a prosecutor. So y'all need to stop acting like you don't like prosecutors, because when a prosecutor found Derek Chauvin guilty for killing George Floyd, yay, prosecutor. Keith Ellison, the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota, he personally took over that case. They didn't let a regular DA, the DA of Hennepin County, do that case. The Attorney General of the state of Minnesota was like, no, I'm going to prosecute this one. How about this, y'all? And I know you're not going to want to hear it because it's going to require black people to have some level of responsibility in our actions. The prosecutor just represents state law. Okay, if somebody did something and what they did violated state law, the prosecutor basically says, hey, everybody, here's the state law. Here's what they did. And the jury's like, let's make a decision. Now, that person who's accused of violating state law has a defense. The defense says, they ain't do that. Prosecutor's like, hey, again, here's state law. Here's what they did. And the jury's like, And then the prosecutor says, well, we got like evidence, like a gun, fingerprints, DNA, cell phone records, text messages saying, I killed him. And the jury's like, Then the prosecutor's like, yeah, we got video camera footage, we got Ring camera footage, we got surveillance camera footage. And the jury's like, And the defense is like, that's not him. That's not that. He didn't send them text messages. But it came from his phone. Nuh-uh, he ain't got that phone no more. That's an Obama phone. Yeah, but they found a gun. So what? It's a lot of guns in America. That ain't his gun. And the jury goes, Ladies and gentlemen, prosecutors don't put people in jail. Evidence does. Ladies and gentlemen, prosecutors can't put anybody in jail. DNA does. Ladies and gentlemen, prosecutors don't put anybody in jail. Confessions do. You understand it? You can't prosecute somebody if there's no evidence they committed the crime. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. If a Kia boy is stealing a Kia on 13th and Olive right now, I can't be prosecuted for that. So I don't care who the prosecutor is. You can't say, the prosecutor puts black people in jail. I have an alibi. I'm looking at Zech right now at 11:47 a.m. in the 3rd Street Market Hall. I can't be prosecuted for a Kia boy Kia boying on 13th and Olive right now. Do you see how that works? Prosecutors don't put people in jail. Evidence does. Fingerprints does. DNA evidence does. Guns, surveillance camera, text messages, cell phone calls. That's the stuff that puts people in jail. All the prosecutors do is say, hey, hi, everybody, I'm the prosecutor. Here's state law. And the jury goes, And the defense goes, that's what happens. Okay, we good? Now I'm going to take a break now. I'm feeling very full moonish myself. Actually, I'm feeling very full moony. If you're in the area, come on down to the Deer District tonight. We're doing our annual Axe Housing big old fundraiser. DJ Bizon is going to be there. Zach, he's there. Am I saying his name right?
Bizon, yeah.
Okay. And there's going to be food trucks and entertainment and games for the kids, and I'm going to be there emceeing it. I've been emceeing a lot of stuff lately. I'm taking a vacation. Once this damn election is over, I'm going to be gone for like 2 weeks. It is from 4 until 8 tonight in the Deer District, the Axe Housing neighborhood table. They got food. They got drinky drinks. You can kick it in the Deer District. I don't think you need a ticket, but I would go to axehousing.org anyway to see if you need to get a ticket. They might just ask you for a donation to Axe Housing. So I've been their spokesperson for the last 3 years, so we're doing our big event tonight. It's always a lot of fun, so come on down if you're in the neighborhood. I'm going to take a break and come back. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'll be back shortly.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
80% the second bomb after the second bomb to move.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Oofda.
That means absolutely everything.
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
The now quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
Jordan Love.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year in 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Everywhere in America, families are struggling with an all too common problem.
She missed school again.
Again?
Something is going on. She's secretive.
Should we check her backpack?
When you suspect a family member has a substance use disorder, it's hard to know what to do next.
We need to talk to her.
Starting the conversation is the first step to getting help. Visit SAMHSA at samhsa.gov/families for tips. Or for treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Connie's Compassionate Care is a Wisconsin Medicaid Badger Care Plus benefit program designed to help pregnant women retain the support and services needed to have a healthy baby, from medical appointments, transportation, and health education support. So, if you or anyone you know can benefit from our agency, call 414-550-7521 to speak with Lasagna. Connie's Compassionate Care has got you covered.
Discover Epic Moves Studio at 3815 West Fond du Lac Avenue right here in Milwaukee. From group workouts and dance sessions to photography shoots, book signings, and birthdays, they've got the space for you. Need a stage? They offer rentals for all of your interior and exterior events. Pricing varies by size and time. Join the community and connect at www.epicmoves414.com or call 347-559-7355. Epic Moves Studio, where your next event comes to life.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce is hosting its third Thursday networking event featuring the pitch competition. It's going to be September 19th at Elevate Milwaukee from 5 until 9 p.m. The audience chooses the winner at the monthly event, so ask your friends and families to come and support you. The third Thursday is not just about the pitch competition. There is networking opportunities, games, prizes, and music by DJ L Boogie. There's no cost to attend the third Thursday event or to compete in the pitch competition. Don't miss it at Elevate Milwaukee, September 19th from 5 until 9 p.m. So that's today. Truth Nation, thank you for making the Truth on Politics such a success. If you missed the show, we will be re-airing the Truth on Politics Saturday from 10 until noon. Dr. Ken, Sherwin Hughes, Denise Thomas, and Tori Lowe discuss who has done more for Black Milwaukee, Democrats or Republicans. We did not discuss Republicans doing nothing for Milwaukee. Y'all tripping. So don't miss the rebroadcast of the Truth on Politics this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2, the award-winning 1017 The Truth Milwaukee Black Talk. All right, let me see. I got another one here. What's this here? The Truth is the proud home of Marquette University High School football. We have a great matchup for you tomorrow night. The Greater Metro Conference, first place Marquette High Hilltoppers host the Menominee Falls Phoenix. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Friday night. Football on the Truth is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Let's talk to Adam. How are you?
Yeah. I'm just great for an old guy.
Just great for an old guy. I was going to say the same thing. All right. What's on your mind, Adam?
I am. Well, I grant you this was pre-civil rights. When I got in trouble, I think I told you about that in a later cop-out. It was proof that I wasn't wrong, and he hit me because I was walking the street. And I had some white people against them too, but they still sentenced me. But they said because they had to satisfy the family.
Okay. So you went to jail for assault because you hit a cop. That's not good.
Yes.
Okay.
The cop hit me first for no reason at all. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay. I wouldn't suggest somebody do that now, though.
Well, I don't know about now because I'm old. Like I said, I'm old. I don't hardly go anywhere anymore. But
I think you got lucky,
shape,
Adam.
No, I didn't get lucky. I just knew the right people. Not me. My mom and her.
Adam,
knew the right
that's
people.
luck.
No, they just knew the right people.
You're lucky you knew those people. How does that sound?
No. I knew about those people before when I was a toddler. I knew about them. I think I told you this one time too. My mama had a nephew. It was in 1957, and he was dating a white woman and a black woman living in the same house. He bought a brand new '57 Pontiac for the white woman, and a brand new '57 Pontiac for the black woman. The black woman had the white car, and the white woman had the black car. And the white folks wouldn't do him nothing.
And your family didn't want you around him because they didn't like him because he had the black woman and the white woman. Yeah, you just told us that story.
No, they didn't want around him because of that stuff he was doing.
What was he doing?
That man made a deal. Yep, he made a deal with the devil.
Oh, of course. That's what he did.
Oh, now you speculating. You don't believe what people tell you.
Well, how do you know we made a deal with the devil, man? How you know?
In the 50s and 40s, you could not do that in Louisiana. They would hang your black ass.
Wait. You hit a cop and didn't get hung, but he made a deal with the devil because he had a black woman and a white woman, bought the black woman a white car and a white woman a black car. That's the deal with the devil, but you punched a Louisiana cop and you
bunching my words up. Those were separate occasions.
Okay,
so totally
Adam, my show is over, so I thank you for calling. So hold on, man. Interracial dating is a deal with the devil, but he's in Louisiana in the 50s and hits a cop and didn't get hung. I gotta go. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Business Spotlight this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. Me, your girl Noni Juice, will be joined by Eduardo, the Regional CRA Residential Loan Director at Associated Bank. Eduardo and I will discuss the advantages of owning a home over renting. You will not want to miss these great tips that he is going to share. So again, tune into the Business Spotlight with Associated Bank this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tori Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tori Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube every day from 1 to 4. I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tori Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
Now that's powerful.
My name is Ariel. When I arrived in the U.S. at 19, I struggled to find job opportunities without my high school diploma. My entire life changed when I took a chance and got my high school diploma at age 22. Everything I have, my education,